our Ebron game, and when last we stopped, you guys had entered a puzzle room. And so in this room, it is a throne room. There's a throne on the far left side of the room, and there are these pillars that are lining the room as well. And on each of these pillars, there is a different type of animal. So on the first pillar up here is a bear. On the second pillar is a scorpion. On the third pillar is a tiger. On the fourth pillar is a snake. On the fifth pillar, there is a fish. And on the third pillar, there is a vulture. Um, so that's what you have found in the room thus far looking around.
Hmm.
I believe I've given you guys all your handouts as well. I'm going to just go through those when you guys are thinking about the puzzle. I do have something else to give you guys, actually. So you found this in the chest along with, I gave you guys a silver ingot, some gold, I believe, and then there is this letter. And just to kind of remind, because we haven't gotten together in a while, so all the different letters have something, and it's not the only things, but they give you some kind of clues as to what's been going on in the dungeon and in terms of the whole storyline proper. So this letter doesn't have anything to do with the room, but it just kind of gives you an idea of what was going on in the dungeon itself, or what happened in the history of the dungeon, which would link to stuff later.
I'm curious, looking at the. Can I do any type of investigation to one of the towers, specific or pillars specifically, to perhaps find something that is switch or a press plate or anything at all that might play a role in how they work?
Yeah, absolutely. And anytime you want to try to use a particular skill, I don't know if I'd mentioned this before. Anytime you want to use a particular skill to look at something, yeah, just let me know. So since it's a specific targeted thing you're going to look at, it'll be investigation. If it's larger, the larger bit of the room, then you'll use perception. So yeah, you would use investigation if you look at the pillars, or if you want to look around the room more, you can roll perception.
And I can help you with that investigation.
So there's a pillar. Yeah, there's a pillar right next to me. So I will roll investigation to look specifically at that.
Right, so you're going to roll it with advantage.
Yep.
All right, awesome. So analyzing the pillar, everything on the pillar itself is solid. Examining the small tiger figure, you brush away some of the dust that's collected on the side of the pillar and notice that actually what it is a press plate. So you could actually push it in with your hand without much effort at all. And this is the pillar with the pillar 3 with the tiger on it.
So we've got a press plate for the tiger. My guess is all animals may be a pressure plate on each, and perhaps pressed in a specific order?
That seems reasonable. Yuri has been reviewing all of the notes and letters we have gathered so far and does not see any sort of connection there, but, perhaps someone else could take a look through and see if there's anything that catches their eye.
Weary. Should we also examine the throne?
That makes sense.
I agree entirely.
Note of character, would someone like to either receive my assistance?
Yeah, Yuri's
+3.
sauntering over. I'll take your assistance in investigating the throne.
I'm going to cast guidance on you two.
Oof, Yuri is weighted with your guidance. Investigation. With advantage. So that looks like an 18 plus an additional is 1d4.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll call it 19.
19. So you see on the front of the throne, there is, of course, it would not be a Roman numeral in this world, but it's a Roman numeral. We'll call it a Braillish numeral of the letter 3. You also notice that on the floor, it looks like as you kind of scrape away against some of the dust that's been collecting here, you notice that there's actually a sort of semicircular to almost completely circular ridge that runs around the throne. So the throne can turn. But then what also you notice as you kind of feel around the sides, you feel markings on the back of the throne. And as you look on the back of the throne, you actually see etched in the back, and it says in plain common letters, and so as to remind you, it's the creatures that are found in the valley.
Eh. Perhaps these valley
Makes a
creatures.
little more sense.
Okay. So let us
We have
examine again.
scorpion. We have scorpion and snake. We do not have fish. We have vulture, most likely. I am unsure if there would be tigers or bears. I believe not.
Yuri looks over at Boris and smiles a little bit. There is a bear here now.
Ah, bear. Yeah, very funny.
Anvil will smirk a little bit at the joke,
Not,
trying not to smirk, but we'll smirk.
not native. Not native to the valley.
All right, so you are suggesting that which animals? The snake.
The vulture, the snake, the scorpion, the vulture.
All right, so there is a number 3 on the throne, and there is a reminder of animals of the valley. You have picked 3 animals. Do you wish to try and push their buttons?
If all is in agreement, yeah. So we'll press the first one here, or whichever one is, I believe it was tiger next. I'll go to the
tiger's
first
that one?
one that. Yep, that's what I think you said was tiger when I.
Yep, that's
so
tiger.
Across from tiger is
Vulture.
all right. This one is. Let's go and push the vulture.
Okay,
And
you
then,
push it, and it actually slides very easily inward, and then you hear a click, and you hear several gears start to turn, and then a clunk as like something has popped into place.
All right. Then I will move to the next of the 2 that contain either snake or scorpion.
Okay, so you look at this one, and this one has the fish on it, so you see that that's not the one that you were looking for.
I go to this side.
See, that's okay, and that's you see on this pillar. You see the scorpion.
I will push the scorpion.
You push it in easily, and you hear more gears start to crank, and another clunk as something pops into place.
Yuri is
Alright,
going
and
to
then the last
precautiously
2.
pull Boris next to him for defensive purposes.
And I would suggest perhaps XR move away from a throne that could be potentially moving momentarily. That'll do it.
Great. So we watch XR sprint the length of the hall.
You betcha.
Give us one little thumbs up. Okay,
Like
I'm
a
ready.
gazelle.
And the final pillar here, I believe, would be snake.
Yes, this one has the snake on it.
And then let's push the snake.
The snake
once
was made
again-
of stone, right?
Yes, all the switches are made of stone. It's just
Okay.
there is this ridge again around those is like kind of like the floor of the throne, so they're pressure plates.
But so
And this one, go ahead.
okay, no, just the point I'm trying to make here is that okay, so the snake's made of stone. So would you be able to describe that carving, that particular carving, as being solid?
Wait, I don't think I quite understand the question. So the carving itself, or so it's
Yeah,
like
I'm just asking if it's a carving of solid snake.
yeah. So it's like imagine the pressure plate, and then the snake is a relief that is carved onto the switch itself.
Right, I've got you.
I'd eat another one.
So you push this switch in with the snake, and once again it slides in easily. You hear a lot of gears start to move, and then something else goes clunk, and you will see that the throne turns and opens a passage in the wall. I see. I knew you were going there with that. I knew that.
All right, so there is now a passage. There's a passage near the throne. Sorry, which way is the passage going, Cole?
The passage is right behind the throne, right there.
Okay. Well, we're all pretty heavy hitters at this point, right? So I guess there's no real need to set up an established marching order. We don't really have any squishies left. Okay. Yuri and Boris will indicate that they'll go last.
All right. Let's send Anvil in first.
Is that how this is going to go?
Follow closely.
The NPC's going to be our
Anvil's
meat
the red
shield?
shirt on Star
Yep, there you go.
So can you guys put your characters in basically a 2x6 block? Well, let me back up. A 3x6 block, length by height there, 3x6, for the next room, and I'll move you over.
Okay, so which way are we heading? Are we heading north? Are we heading west?
You're gonna head west.
Okay, so that would put Yuri and Boris here. We're heading that way. Does that make sense? Is that kind of what you were
Yep.
thinking? All right. Yep.
Yep. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna put you guys on the next map, and then I'm gonna switch you over.
Is the room on fire? The room's on fire, isn't it?
If not, it will be soon.
Oh wow. I'm so predictable. All right. Can everybody see?
Yep. Oh, it is on fire.
I can't believe you called that. All right.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yes.
good lord.
Very
hot.
All right.
Very
Yes,
hot.
very, very hot. All right. So
Dry
you're
heat,
going to
like a
see
porridge.
very dry heat. So there is a massive pool of volcanic lava right in the center of the room. And the walls stretch down probably 50, 60, 75 feet. The room is, of course, scorching hot. There are two ways, one way around to the other side of the room. You can see a massive brazier on the other side that's decorative, and it is on fire. And the light is so bright that you can see completely in the room. So any torches that you might need before, you don't need any longer. So, let's see here. As you are waiting, you haven't disturbed anything yet. But as you're waiting, these two little imp things are going to emerge out of the lava, and they don't notice you. They're kind of walking around. But you see one on one side over here, down here to the south, and then there's another on the other side of the lava over here to the northwest. All right.
Cole, is there a path out of this room?
There is not a path out of this room. Everything is completely isolated down at the bottom. So you'd actually backtrack through the original dungeon to get out.
So Yuri's going to make a guess. We have to go check out that brazier. What have we known about these imps? Like, are they known to be fairly neutral? Are they known to be like aggressive?
Why don't you roll me a nature check?
Oh, good. Yuri's like, I don't know.
Oh, yes. They're very friendly. They like to be pet on their fiery little heads.
Nice. Great. So all Yuri's got to fall back on are like his dwarven mother's stories of fire imps, where they're like helpful and cheerful.
Yeah. Anyone can roll a nature check if you would like to see if you know more about the little imp-like things.
Well, every now and then you get lucky, right?
Yeah. Every now and then. Ah, there you go. How about that? So I've got a 17 and a 9. So
Thank goodness
these,
for
yeah. So these are magmen. They're very mischievous, imp-like creatures, but they are actually elementals. Um, they're also very dangerous because they are indeed burning. And you may have heard something about how dangerous they are even after they die. Generally, they're summoned creatures, so whatever has them here has summoned, which means something else could be summoned as well.
Are there any other tunnels that go in and out of this room?
You don't see any other tunnels in or out. It looks like the entire room is isolated into one area. So whatever comes down here goes and comes by the way that you've come here. Though the steps are certainly carved from someone's hands, they're not natural. But everything else in the room, with the exception of the brazier on the other side, which I believe should be, yeah, there it is. Everything else in the room is natural as well, it looks like.
Well, we were successful talking to the Hague. Any suggestions on this situation? Do we attack or do we attempt to converse?
Response. This unit discourages interacting with the magmen.
Yuri has no real opinion to offer on the matter. But Yuri
Well, we're
does
not
think,
gonna
to
get the
reiterate,
other side.
yeah, Yuri does think we should check out that brazier.
I completely agree. But I don't think we're going to get over there without being noticed.
Well, Yuri says we could always try to approach, and if they act aggressively, then we deal with them.
Uh, how are you guys? How is Yuri for ranged?
I'm not really built for range. I mean, technically, I have crossbow, a light crossbow, and I can throw my hand axes. Or sorry, my hand axe.
Well, we could either try to attack it from afar, the one by the brazier, or we could approach it and hope that we can kill one before the other one comes over.
If we're talking engaging, my concern would be leaving this one behind us. But sure, we can do that if you want. We can. I mean, we can try and stealth northward, or just walk in and see what happens.
We could attack the one that's closest to us and then wait for the other one to come join us over here. But either way, it would be just trying to knock one out first, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we're going to attack, I would lean more towards attacking the one south of us first. And then just because we'll get at least a turn, most likely, before the other one can come to us. But I mean, I
Full
still.
on murder hobos.
Well, this is the
Just
thing,
attack the
right?
first thing closest to us. Yep.
Yeah. Like my concern is, I'm just wondering. I mean, they're mischievous, but they're not necessarily evil. So I'm wondering what happens if we just walk in. Like, if they will just leave us alone, or if they will attempt to initiate something.
I'm not into killing for nothing. I'll fight if needed, but the war below, it's not my first inclination. Let's follow that lead of Yuri's and walk in and see the reaction.
Right. So I guess what I'm saying then is, yeah, we go in, we position ourselves defensively. In the meta of the game, we set up a bunch of prepared actions, and then we just see what happens.
Okay. XR is going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Oh crap! I forgot to do the damn. Shit.
No problem.
No, not
Crap.
the icon for the weapon call.
Ah,
I sent you
knew
one
I
you
was-
can use on short notice. I sent you a PNG. You could just use. Feel free to swap it out as you like.
I'm still voting for
knew-
flying toasters.
I know. I knew that I forgot something this week. All right, 5 seconds. I'm gonna get this. Dadgummit. That's gonna be here. That's gonna be there. That's gonna be that. 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 Go. 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 That. Then that. Here we go. Aha! Wait, that's in GM mode. Aha!
Perfect.
Success. There we go. You want to put him? I will also. I think
Quicker than I could.
Let me make sure that I give you control of that dude. Dave. Boom. You should have control.
And I do.
Put him under player characters.
You just flail that thing about the party there, Dave?
It's hovering next to Boris.
Okay.
How smart is Boris? Is he like a cat? Because can you like kind of play with the spirit weapon? You like paw at it.
His intellect his intelligence, sorry, is 4.
He
So
paws at it
yeah.
out of curiosity. All right. The imp when the spirit weapon kind of pops into existence, the imp gets a bit curious. He turns. He will see the group, and then he is going to do something that most of these imps do not do. He is going to belch a massive fireball
Whoa.
that is about 10 by 10, and he kind of laughs as he does this. He then lets out a screech, and his friend across the way is actually going to do the same thing and pop out a fireball. And then once they do that, you see that from the lava pit down here in the bottom, a massive fireball comes out of that pit and lands, and it will stand up.
Oh, damn it.
Hmm. Now, wasn't there something about a giant elemental in the notes? I believe there was.
There was.
Okay. So basically, the way this works is these fireballs are not sentient. They're sort of like the spirit weapon. The little imps can control them and move them around almost like they were pets, as well as taking their own actions. But they themselves are not sentient beings. All right, we're going to roll for some initiative.
Yeah, of course we are.
I feel like I just ruined your day, Aaron.
Don't forget to select your
Oh, no.
character.
Do what, Aaron?
No, you've not destroyed my day. We're here to fight.
He's like, oh, damn it.
I just have
Yeah,
a
okay.
feeling fire elementals, they burn. They burn.
They do burn. They do burn. Let's see here. I need to
Oh.
do anvils. Or he's going last.
Oh, yeah, he is. And here I thought I'd be last.
I've been running a temporal mage with my other game as an NPC when anyone couldn't make it, and he adds his dexterity bonus, or sorry, he adds his wisdom modifier to his initiative with his
For
dexterity
initiative.
bonus. Yeah,
Ah,
and he's
that's
been
great.
rolling like 1 or 2, so like he still goes last.
He knows he's going to go last, though.
Yeah, he knows. He knows. All right,
He
so
knows.
Yuri, you're up
And-
first, man.
Okay. Sure, I'm just seeing. There we go. Okay, so I have to use my bonus action to command Boris. Oh boy.
No, you only use your bonus action to command him to attack.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Oh.
Yeah. No, beyond that, he'll take the dodge action on his own. Well, crap in a hat. All right. I guess Yuri is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20 to there. And he's going to unsling his crossbow and target. Oh, actually, wait, hang on a second. 5, 10, 15. Okay. That was 5, 10, 15, 20. Here's going to go down to 25 to there. Which gives us 5, 10, 15, 20 to that. 5, 10, 15, 25 to that. All right, yeah, so yeah, Yuri's going to go to there, and he's going to unleash his. He's going to unlimber his crossbow and target the imp to the south of us there.
This guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yep.
All right. So you're firing from here to there, basically, right past the fire.
Yeah.
21. I do believe that is probably going to hit.
Seems reasonable. And that does 5 damage. Yeah, and Yuri's going to brace up, and he's going to use his bonus action to command Boris. He's going to yell the word for. He's going to yell "defend" at Boris. Defend. And so then Boris takes. So Yuri's turn is done. Boris moves 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and he will place himself beside me. And he is currently ready to. He's currently ready to use his reaction to deflect an attack.
Okay. So when you fire your crossbow bolt, your wooden crossbow bolt,
Mhm.
most of it will make it through to the imp, but the the fire around the imp will burn some of it up as it hits, so it does some damage, but not as much as you might expect.
Yeah, that does not surprise me.
All right.
Yeah, so let's see here. I think I have to specify. So for deflect attack, it says the defender imposes disadvantage on the attack roll of one creature it can see that is within 5 feet of it. Oh, provided that okay, so he can't really deflect an attack, can he? Okay, then in that case, then I'm going to command him to rend anything that gets within 5 feet of him. Or no, I can command him to deflect the attack of anything that gets within 5 feet of him, right? Yeah. So if any of these things close in on us, Boris is going to deflect the attack.
Gotcha.
If that works that way, right?
Yep.
Okay, yep. So that's our turn.
Okay, so the next person to go is Exar.
Xar is going to cast Bless at level 1, targeting Yuri, Anvil, and himself. And then for his bonus action, it looks like I could move my spiritual weapon to here. And I'm going to attack the elemental with it.
See, do that.
I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to be fighting the elemental.
And that's going to miss. I'm pretty sure the elemental's going to come and fight us.
Oh, I know.
All right, that's it for Exar's turn.
You probably have to remind me what I always forget what Bless does.
Oh, sorry.
Just remind me when it comes. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we get a plus 1d4 on our attack rolls. But I don't think that would apply to my spiritual weapon.
Or on saving throws.
And saving throws as well. Thanks again. Here, I'll pop it into the chat.
Here we go. The fire elemental's turn. Fire elemental will go. Let's see here. It can actually move through spaces as small as an inch. So it's going to move through this area. So maybe I got to count. Math is hard. Would he go here? Would he go here? He's probably going to go down here.
Oh.
All right, he's going to move right there.
All right.
Okay. So he is going to attempt to attack
Who hasn't
Yuri.
lost any hit points yet?
Not yet.
Right. Not yet.
So he's going to try to
Not
attack Yuri. Okay, so the bear. Boris is going to
impose disadvantage.
Impose disadvantage. Here we go. Why you might do that? So that's first roll for it. Didn't roll 2. So it'd be 14. which
Does not
is
hit.
not going to hit you.
Yeah.
All right. His second attack,
Which I can do nothing about. Still misses.
which is still going to miss.
Whew.
Will it be disadvantage on both or disadvantage on the first one?
It would be just disadvantage on the
Gotcha,
first
yeah,
one, would
'cause
be
you-
my understanding, because it's the
Yeah.
next attack.
Yeah, so she got 19. Okay, so that is the fire elemental's turn. So now we go to the magmen. So the magmen are going to do.
Sorry, I just threw my my Steel Defender stats into the chat there.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let you tell me what it does as we go, and that way
Fantastic.
you can keep it up with it.
In that case, it's super immune to fire and actually puts out flames within, let's say, a 50-foot radius of it. No, I'm
Right.
kidding.
It can put out fires by licking.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fires go out in the giant pit, and the entire place falls down, and rocks fall and you're dead and you die. Right? That kind of thing. No, I am not that guy. All right, so the magman is going to use his. So he's going to be able to move the. Each of them will be able to do this. Move the fireball. 5, 10, 15. Okay. So at the end of your turn, you're going to take 1d6 fire damage as long as you're in the ball of fire.
Right, yeah.
Then he's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, and he's immune to the fire, and he's going to try to attack.
Okay.
And by him, I mean I'm going to try to figure out what I need to click here to make him attack. 16, so he's going to miss you. All right, so the the magman on the other side, he's going to try to start making his move. So he's going to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So he'll move to right there. And he will move the fireball. Let's see here. Right there. Okay, so that's going to be the magman's turn. So we go to Draenor next.
Alrighty. So I am going to move forward to where I have the ability to include the elemental, but hopefully avoid my allies in a 15-foot cone. And I'm going to cast Dragon's Breath. And let's see if that is going to work for me here. So I did not get everything in there, but it is a 3d6 of my choice of damage. So I am choosing, obviously, cold or frost dragon breath. And he has a DC 10 dexterity save that he can roll to avoid. Oh, wow. 8 points. Jeez.
Dexterity save of a 10.
Well, DC is 13. Spell save DC is 13, so he should have failed that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
My DC, spell DC is 13. So he takes 8 points of cold damage.
Okay, 8 points of cold damage.
And I don't know, are they extra? I mean, do they have vulnerabilities to cold? So that
you
does
could
more damage?
You can roll a nature check or an arcane check to find that or find that information out.
Well, I'm just wondering, when I caused his damage with cold, did it just do the straight 8, or did it appear to have actually caused
It appears
caused more damage to him?
It appears to have done normal damage to the fire elemental.
Okay. Well, I got a 21 without advantage. So no vulnerabilities to cold.
Not on the fire elemental, correct?
Okay. All right.
Okay, so that next is Anvil. So he's going to do what fighters do. He's going to go 1, 2, and try to hit it.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I wasn't. I still have stuff I can do, don't I? So that is a bonus action. So the Dragon's Breath was with a bonus, and with my action, I'm going to do my magic missile wand, and I will fire 3 shots of magic missile from my wand. And so that will be 3d4 of additional force damage. All right. And then I will use, I think I probably moved about, is that 10 feet, would you have said? I can't quite see the squares as much there.
You're trying to, what are you trying to do?
So after I cast Magic Missile, I was going to
Mhm.
use the rest of my movement to back up a little ways out of direct touch.
Yeah. Now that will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Oh, that will provoke an attack of opportunity. Never mind. I'm going to stay right where I am.
Yep. Yeah. He has a 5-foot range. Okay.
Yep. So I'll stay right where I am.
All right. Anvil is going to attempt to hit him. He has a warhammer in one hand. And he rolls. That's weird because the dice says 16 and that says 4.
Yeah. 16, is that to hit? Is 16 to hit into 4
Yeah,
damage?
it should be. Yeah, so it should be 16 to.
You should see it though. Yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, plus he gets a 1d4. But it's enough to hit him. So, all right. I don't know why. I don't understand why it did a.
Oh no, the blood damage is right there. I don't know why you saw 16 then.
Yeah, I
That was
saw a
weird.
16 on the die. Let me try to. I'm gonna try to roll it one more time,
Okay,
make sure it's separate.
So if you the formula for him is 16 minus 20 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 to come up with his if he can hit. So there looks to be a minus 20 in there somehow by accident, because he should get a plus 3 on strength, plus 2, you know.
I know what it is. Because of one of his abilities, his crit range
For a 19 or a 20.
is a 19. Yep. Yeah, so I put it in 19 to 20. That's why. Okay. Good.
So you should have had like 16 plus another. You should be like 24 to hit.
Yeah. That scared the crap out of me. Damn alarms. I would never remember to take my medication if it wasn't for that. Okay. Now we got it. Okay. So 12 bludgeoning damage to the big guy. Now, as soon as he hits him, 2 things will happen. Number 1, it does not do as much damage as Anvil expects because he gets a funky look on his face. The other thing that's going to happen is that he's going to the fire, as soon as he hits the elemental, the fire comes off the elemental and like sort of slashes him or like whips against him and burns him. So that means that Anvil will actually take damage from the elemental when he hits him to the tune of 9. All right, so that's Anvil's turn. We go back to Yuri.
All right, so Yuri is looking at things and he is thinking to himself, he would like to end this imp, but if he ends, yeah, actually, let's end the imp first, and then we will talk about ending our turn and perhaps taking an attack of opportunity. Okay, I'm going to use my bonus action instead of activating Boris. I'm going to use my bonus action here because it looks like I might need it to shift. So again, you hear this deep sort of a escape from Yuri, and let's see here. I gain +5 temporary hit points, and then an additional 1d6. So I gain +11 temporary hit points. So that's putting me at 34. Or sorry, 35 for the duration. And my armor class goes up to 20. And with that, with Bless, Dave, do I get a choice to add it after I roll, or do I have to declare it before I roll?
You just get it automatically. You don't have to declare it. It just happens.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'm
It's not
going to
like
make.
it's not a bardic inspiration, so you get it on every attack and every save as long as I'm concentrating.
Oh, perfect. Oh, sweet. Okay, in that case, then, yeah, Yuri's going to switch from his crossbow to his hand axe. So I guess that's drop the crossbow on the floor and unsheath the hand axe kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm going to attack the imp again. So it's this plus 1d4. So I've rolled a 20 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. And I do another 5 damage.
Okay, and this would be slashing. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with a magical weapon.
Okay. All right. All right, so you hit the imp one more time now with the magical weapon. It does do a good bit of damage. The imp is sort of shaky now, if an imp can be shaky,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of staring at you with his beetle eyes, wanting to murder you. Exar.
Oh, I'm not quite done yet.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, so
Just
I am
make it
going to
all about
risk. Well, it is really. Yuri is going to risk attack of opportunity from the imp and move 5, 10, 15 feet around the fire elemental.
Okay, the imp will try to touch you inappropriately
Mm-hmm.
for a 15.
Yeah, that does nothing. Okay, and so then, sorry. So that ends my turn. I'm just looking up, what does dodge do again?
That makes the attacks against you
Oh,
have disadvantage, and
there it is.
your dexterity saving throws are at
Any
advantage.
attack roll has disadvantage, right? But it would not. Okay, so that's the only action that Boris is going to take is dodge, but he's also going to move out of that fire. And yeah, and so that's our turns.
All right. All right, XR.
All right, I did some research during other people's turns. Apparently, I should be adding Bless to my spiritual weapon attacks. I don't think it would have mattered last time, but moving forward, I'm going to do that. So, spiritual weapon is going to move 20 feet, so it's next to this fire elemental. That's
Right.
So, bonus action, move, and swing. So,
Have you guys seen Batman?
Not the new
The
one.
the movie? No,
Oh,
no, no,
yeah.
no.
I hate
Excellent.
that. Have you I was gonna say, because if you heard the jet engine on the back of the car, that's what I kind of like think the spiritual weapon sounds like. Like, like sometimes I think of it like as a hum, like a kind of like a lightsaber or something. But like, what if it was like this horrific,
Mhm.
horrible, massive jet engine sound? This like,
Do you
right?
recommend the movie?
Oh yeah, oh
Okay.
yeah, oh yeah. I was just thinking about the jet engine. Maybe that's what the spiritual weapon makes, that sound. Of course, that could make everyone go deaf, and then maybe your adventuring days wouldn't work so hot. So I mean, that could be problematic. But yeah, sorry,
It's
I went
okay.
off on a tangent.
Does a 14 hit the fire elemental?
A 14 does hit the fire elemental.
Alright, so it is going to take
Wham!
force damage. 10 points of force damage.
Ooh, that's a good hit.
Is a
So that staggers the fire elemental a little bit. I'm not sure how the spiritual weapons work, but since it does hit him, I'm not sure if the spiritual weapon does take it, but if the spiritual weapon does take damage, it will be hit with 7 fire damage.
It doesn't have hit points.
I
It's
don't
just
believe it
Okay.
does.
a magical
Nope.
spell. Then, for my action, I'm going to target this Magman with a Sacred Flame spell. So he needs to make a Dexterity save. DC 14.
A sacred flame spell.
Yes.
Okay.
So
You launch the sacred flame spell at him, and it
it's
just
not
sort
a
of
launch. It's not a
yeah
launch. So
yeah.
bright light descends from the ceiling,
hmm
doing radiant damage unless he can dodge it. It's not
You
fire
cannot.
damage.
So this is a dex save.
It's a Dex save. DC 14.
Yep, he misses.
Then he would take 7
Excellent.
points of radiant damage, assuming he's vulnerable to it.
Okay, let's see.
It's one of the worst named spells in the game.
It is.
Yeah, it's
All
not
right.
a flame at all.
So he just sort of disintegrates into ash.
What happens to his fireball?
It is still there.
Damn it.
Man.
Kind of hoping a 2 for that thing.
Me too.
It is still there. Yes. Okay. Does that complete your turn, XR?
Yeah, yes. End of turn. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So now it goes to the fire elemental's turn. So he is going to use his turn to use his bonus action to now control the fireball.
Mm.
So he is going to move the fireball through this little crack and on top of XR and Draenor now. So if you were in the fire afterwards, I actually was supposed to make somebody else take fire damage from this thing earlier, and I didn't do it. So you take fire when it moves into your spot, and then at the end of your turn, you're going to take fire damage too.
Oh, I see. Okay, so yeah, so I should have
Yeah.
taken fire damage. Well, I mean, we can roll
But
for it. I'm fine with that.
no, my bad. I forgot it. That one's on me.
All right.
So you take 1 fire damage when it moves into your space, and if you're in the fire, whenever the fire, or whenever at the end of your turn, you'll take a 1d6 damage. So then the fire elemental is going to try to attack. He's going to try to attack Anvil with his first attack. He is going to miss miserably. He's going to try to attack Boris with his second attack. An
That
8.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Yeah, worst fire elemental ever.
Yeah, this guy really needs to. He's a little out of practice, I guess.
I think all of the bad guys are out of practice in this dungeon.
Sorry to interrupt. I failed my con saving throw, so I'm my concentration check. So I'm going to use the point of inspiration you gave me to re-roll my concentration.
All right.
Damn.
Oh,
All right,
nice
no more bless.
job.
No.
No more
Oh,
bless.
So Bless is gone.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, and Dave is retreating in shame.
I saw BRB. I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't do it. It's not my fault. Okay. So the fire elemental has made both of his turns except for one other thing that he can do. The fire elemental can actually move into your space, and he can. Why did it do that? He can actually move into your space, and cost fire damage when he does. So he's going to move into y'all space. I'm
Oh,
going to move him to the mat layer. So when he does, you will take
Does his
1d10
movement-
damage. That is his
Does
movement.
his
Now,
movement
it does provoke
invoke
attacks.
by those?
It does. Yes. Yes,
Okay.
it does.
Excellent.
So, so yeah, Anvil, Draenor, and XR will not be in his attack range. The spirit weapon, I don't know if the spirit weapon gets a. I wouldn't think it would get a bonus action attack opportunity, but Anvil and Draenor will get to do that. Now,
okay.
All right.
Sorry, do I get some kind of a roll on the fire damage I'm about to take, or do I just take fire damage?
it is the first time it enters a creature space on a turn. The creature takes 1d10 fire damage and catches fire until
Okay, yeah, so
someone
there's
takes an
nothing-
action.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
s-
stay on fire until the start of your next turn.
Oh, fantastic. Are you reading what Dave's put in the chat? So he actually made his first saving throw because he forgot to add bless to it.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. That's cool with me. All right. So here's the fire damage. 8 fire damage.
Well done, Dave.
Okay.
I'll put bless on everybody who had it again. All right. So now you are on fire until you douse the fire.
Right, and same thing for poor Boris.
Yes.
Okay, let me see how many hit points Boris has. I'm going to
think
keep
I have
track of
about
them
a-
somewhere. Oh no, I do have a place to keep track of Boris's hit points. Boris has
Wow, that was
19 hit
fast.
points. So
Hey, Dave,
that's
they're on fire. We need to roll our attacks of opportunity, though. Anvil and Exar. Sorry, Draenor and Anvil. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. So, attacks of opportunity can be any that we have available. Is that correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna shoot another magic missile at him, or use the wand again. At first level, use up another charge. All right. So looks like 11 points of this magic missile.
I'm gonna do some math here, which is hard. All right. So magic missile hits, pow pow pow, and then Anvil also hits. Since this is an attack of opportunity, you see. Since this is a melee attack, this does cause fire damage. Okay, so Draenor and Anvil will both take 9 damage each.
Jesus.
Make sure that I have his.
There's no avoiding it, huh?
There's not. Fire elementals are just
Since
nasty.
it wasn't my attack. Oh.
Wait,
Damn
yours
it,
was
Anvil.
well, back up. Yours was a
Mine was
magic
force.
missile. Yeah,
Yeah.
yours was force, and yeah,
Right.
it flies out. So you're not going to take it. Anvil takes it. Sorry about that. I was thinking you were hitting with
Okay.
something else. So yeah,
Okay.
so yeah.
I thought you
Magic
were-
missile's fine.
I thought you splashed me too.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just Anvil's going
That's
to take
better.
that. I need to make sure that I've got the math
That's
on
what he's
his
there
right.
for.
Yeah, that's what he's there for. Yes. 12. Trying to figure out. Let's see, 6. Y'all are level 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. He should have 28 hit points. Could somebody give me while I'm thinking about it? What your experience points are so far?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I've got
2,700.
I've got 900. There you go.
Should we-
That's better.
All right. Cool. Okay.
we're at 900 out of 2,700. I thought.
Sorry. There you go. That stand corrected. I was looking at the wrong thing. 900 out
Sure.
of 2,700. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes. Okay, 900.
I was just looking
So
at the bar.
yeah, you guys should be level 3, right?
We are.
We are.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, we are.
Yeah. 27. It's 4, level 4, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, you guys keep me straight.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. All right, so we are on the Magman now. All right, so this Magman 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. This
Jeez.
fireball 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay. And I'm going to double check one thing here before I get too far along. Okay. Yep. Almost. Not quite. All right. So that's the Magman's turn. Draenor.
All right. So I am going to move out of the fire so that I don't continue to take damage. And let me see how far this is going to be. Been a while since device. There we go. All right. So I'm going to move here, which is 15 feet. Come on. And I still have concentration up. Oh, that's right. I did not roll a con savings throw for mine. Hold on now. Let's see. Before I can see if I still have Dragon's Breath available to me. What do I have to roll to maintain concentration? Oh, I didn't
And
keep it up. My Dragon's Breath's gone. Yep. So my Dragon's Breath was gone from that 1 point of damage. So I will move up as I did, only this time I will Ice Knife at the main elemental.
that is probably going to hurt Yuri as well, just so you know.
Oh, that's a good point. You're too close, aren't you?
Well, literally right below the guy, yes.
Technically, you're
Yes, I couldn't see
inside the
you
guy.
under that.
Yeah,
you're
you're
in the guy.
inside.
Okay. Yeah, I forget that since I can't see him now, he's right there. So let's cancel that.
What you
if I
can do,
cancel
what
that
you can
spell.
do, you know, he's so big, you know, so you got Yuri right here, right?
Yep.
So you got room if you're attacking
Yep.
this other square, you could still hit him without hitting Yuri.
That makes that I'll aim it at the I guess it's the little guy. Whatever Magman?
Magman? Mm-hmm.
Yep. So let's see. He has a saving. No, let's see. On a hit. Well, I guess it doesn't
To
say
do the
if I
attack
hit him.
roll first. First, you have to hit him with the knife.
Right,
Oh,
which-
that's right. Jeez, I got to roll the d20.
Yeah, with disadvantage because it's a ranged attack,
Okay.
isn't it?
It is.
Yep. It's a fail. But
Okay, but
it
you still
explodes.
now.
So now. Yep. So now they have to do a dexterity savings.
Yeah, including Yuri.
Well, I thought it made it sound like he was going to let you be outside the.
Well, I don't
5
know, Colt.
feet that it
Yeah,
would-
yeah. You don't Yuri wouldn't have to, because if you're hitting like this, sort of like this, let me see if I can do something a little different here. So basically you're sort of hitting like this area right here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay,
'Cause
I'll
he's so
take it.
big. Yeah, he's so big it wouldn't make any sense, I think, to
Sure.
not be there.
Not gonna question it.
So it's 10 points of damage to the Magman for his failed roll, and the fire elemental doesn't take any damage.
All right. All right. Well, you took out the Magman.
Mm.
Nice.
Well, that's good.
Anvil's
Something
turn.
came of it.
Anvil is going to take the one and only healing potion that I gave him. Wow. So he gets 4 hit points back.
One.
Oh dear.
Wow. All right, we go back to Yuri.
All right then. Can you drop the fire elemental behind? Oh no, never mind. I can grab myself. Okay, Yuri is going to risk an attack of opportunity because he's going to pull back. So that's 5, 10, 15. We'll go 20 feet. Yeah, that does not work. And then I am going to throw my axe at the fire elemental.
Okay, and keep in mind, you and Boris are still on fire.
Oh, right, yes. And how do we put ourselves out of fire? Stop, drop,
You
and
have
roll?
Stop, drop, and roll.
Is that an action or a
5,
bonus action?
10. That's an action.
Okay, then Yuri's just going to stop, drop, and roll. Then he's going to command Boris to do the same.
Okay. So is Boris gonna move out of the fire
Yep.
elemental?
Yeah, Boris
Okay.
is going to move exactly over here beside Yuri, and so now you see both Yuri and his bear companion rolling back and forth on the ground.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So you put yourselves out. You still
Sorry,
have
Cole.
15 feet to move. Yeah. Go ahead.
Just a question.
Yep.
The fire affects Boris, even though he's like metal. I mean, I guess
He
Boris
is
doesn't have any. Yeah, he doesn't have any. He doesn't have any immunity to fire. But I just want to make sure. Like, would he even catch fire?
What? Well, that is a good question. I wonder what would happen to him if he's metal and gets hit with fire. Because the other thing would be what happens to metal when it gets hot.
Right. It's like what happens to a toad.
It would be like a warforged.
Yeah, because I could see it might
real
do
susceptible.
more damage to him if the metal gets hot because it would warp and bend and stuff.
Right.
So,
But I thought with these guys when they like when fireballs and stuff like that hit, not fireballs and magic spells, but like these floaty fireballs, I thought the deal was anything flammable catches fire.
yeah, anything flammable. So if he's not flammable, he shouldn't be on fire.
Right.
You would just be on fire.
Yeah, I would be on fire. Like don't get me wrong, I think that he should take the 8 fire damage for being in there. I just don't think he should be on fire on the way out the door.
Yeah, I agree. I
Okay.
agree.
All right. Yeah.
That
So
makes
that's
sense.
that's
I think that
acceptable
makes
to me, right?
sense.
That's a good compromise where he still takes the damage from being hit by the fire, but he's not. Okay. So if Boris doesn't have to stop, drop, and roll, then what would happen is Yuri's command would bring him out here, and I would have commanded him to. Sorry, 1 second. I would have commanded him to do a repair. So he's going to repair for 7 plus what is PB? Let's see here. Anybody have any idea what PB would be?
Peanut butter?
Yeah.
Can you give some context?
So repair is the magical mechanisms inside the defender restore 2d8 plus PB hit points to itself or to one constant. Oh, okay, there we go. So proficiency bonus is 2. So he repairs for 9. He took 8 damage. He's good.
Thank you.
Okay. Does that complete your turn, Yuri?
Yes, it does.
All right. We'll go down to XR.
Sorry, Cole. While I was getting my yogurt, I don't know if you saw my notes. I realized I had forgotten to apply my bless bonus to my saving throws.
We're all with you. We're all with you.
Sorry about that too. So I'll run out of the ball of fire. You're saying I am on fire right now?
No, only if you are in the fire elemental.
Okay.
That'll catch you fire. This fireball over here that you were in does not catch you on fire.
Okay, that's my bless symbol that's on me. I gotcha. Okay, then
Yes.
I'm going to move out of the fireball. I'm going to use my bonus action for my spiritual weapon to attack the fire elemental. So it's going to swing. And that looks like a hit to me.
That is definitely a hit.
So
Wham!
7 force damage.
You can even feel the heat of the flame come out from the force off of the fire elemental.
And then for my action, I am going to use a sacred flame on the fire elemental. So he is going to have to make a dex save DC 14.
14 on the dot.
All right.
Wow.
0 damage. I will end my turn.
All right. Fire elemental goes. And this time he is going to move up here on top of the spirit weapon and to Anvil. Anvil will take damage. He will take 9 damage. Anvil is now down. And he will have to make death saves. All right. Now he will attack Draenor. $21. He will roll 2d6. So he would take 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, that last one was an extra roll. That was not supposed to happen. So it's 8 plus 3, which is 11 damage, and you will ignite on fire. Fire. Aaron, are you there? Did we lose Aaron?
I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Oh.
No, I'm here. I was on mute.
You get okay.
So it was 21 to hit, which definitely hits, and
Yep,
it was
and
11 points.
11 points of fire damage, and you're on fire.
And I'm on fire. Okay.
Is it his beard that's on fire?
Mother.
Yeah, his beard is on fire. It's the beard.
My beard is on. My beard is burning.
How can we sleep?
All right, let's see. All right, so that's the fire elemental's turns. Now it goes to the magmans, which are gone. So we'll go down to Draenor.
Okay, so for my action, I'll do the drop, roll to put the fire out, and I'll use my movement as I'm rolling to move over here. And then as a bonus, my bonus action, what was that? Was I
roll?
in? Oh, I was within touch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He misses. He misses though. Yep, he misses.
Yeah. Okay. So the fire's out. That was my action. As a bonus action, I'll down a healing potion, which is 1d4 plus 4. Is that right?
2d4 plus 4. Or sorry, 2d4 plus 2.
2d4.
Yep.
Okay.
So 6 plus 2 is 10.
6 plus 2, 8 points.
Nice roll.
8.
Right.
6 plus 2?
Yep, 6 plus 2.
You said, right?
Yep, 8.
All right. 8 points. All right. So how much did I take all of my movement to roll to get to where I am now?
So let's see. You drop. There's your action. You move 5, 10, 15.
Yeah, I don't know how much.
And then 15. It takes 15 points to stand up.
Right.
So
that's what I figured. Yep. Okay, so that's where I am. That's it. That's my go.
All right. Anvil has to roll a death save, which he'll fail his first one. Plus, he's on fire, so he's going to have to roll another one. He fails that one. One more, he's dead.
3. Oh, well, isn't a 1 an automatic 2?
No, I just go standard.
Okay.
So yeah, just
all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I only do the definite fails on attack rolls, if that's okay with everybody.
As you like.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wasn't. I remember. Yep. I thought critical fails was 2 death rolls if they got a 1, but I'm good with that.
Yeah, I usually don't do that until after level 3, just because the first 3 levels are so
Perfect.
brutal. Yeah, I mean, and plus everybody's
Yeah,
filling
no
their
kidding.
characters out. If people want to make changes, up through level 3. So, yeah.
Why did the
All right.
fire elemental just move?
Oh, because well, he moved here
Mm-hmm.
before. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, why did the fire elemental move?
Because
Fire
it's
elemental
Anvil's
goes,
turn.
yeah, he goes, ah ha ha, your DM is stupid. Yes.
Oh no.
But he says it in Ignan, so see, you don't even know what it said.
Oh, there we
So
go.
there,
Right.
it
Okay.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Yeah. How about that for a recovery there?
Yeah. Nicely done.
All right, Yuri, it is your turn.
Okay. Okay. Let's finish.
Hey, can I interrupt for just a second, Cole?
Yeah.
Cole, can I throw something out there?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had forgotten. Geez, it's been almost a month. I had forgotten that I have my 2 D20 rolls that I had sitting here from my divination potent ability. So I have back when the elemental attacked me for those 11 points. Can I use one of those rolls in replace of that?
Yeah, I'm fine with
Oh,
that.
never mind. Nope. Nope. I don't want to. It would make a whole bunch of things change. My fault for not remembering. We're gonna keep going. I just have to remember that I have that in there. That's what it's for, after all. So, okay, let's keep moving. Sorry to
Okay.
interrupt.
No, it's all good.
I'm angry at myself for forgetting that and taking all that damage, but we're good.
Yuri.
Okay. Yuri is going to throw his hammer at the thing. Let's see here. Yuri lines up his hammer. Yuri lines up the elemental. And Yuri rolls a 21.
21 is plenty to hit.
Okay, Yuri does 6 damage with a magical axe that returns to his hand.
All right.
Boris is going to. He's going to use his bonus action to command Boris to basically make an attack on any. If the fire elemental manages to close distance with us, however it does it, Boris is going to attack it.
All right.
Okay, and then that is Yuri's turn.
All right. Well, we go down to Exar next.
All right, 2 questions. First of all, can the spiritual weapon attack the elemental from its current position?
Yes.
Second question, does it look like XR could also run into the fire elemental's space?
Yes.
All right. So, first things first, as a bonus action, the spiritual weapon is going to attack the fire elemental. That's a crit fail. Second, XR is going to move 25 feet into the fire elemental space. He's going to use his action to cast Cure Wounds on our Warforged ally.
Oh, he's not Warforged anymore. He's a human.
Oh, well, there we go. Then our human ally, even more importantly, can take 11 points of healing.
All right. He is back up.
And final 5 feet of movement. I'm going to, I guess, just back up here and end my turn.
I will take those death saves off. Anvil thanks you. Or as I like to call him, Meat Shield. All right. So go to Draenor next.
All right. I am going to use my potent 19 to hit a ranged attack on the elemental.
All right.
Does a 19 hit?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So then I am using that to cast Witch Bolt, which is a 1d12 concentration spell. As a second level. Come on, there we go. So 5 lightning, that's it? Well,
How many?
that's it.
It's
It hit 'em.
5 each, isn't it? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Witch
6.
Bolt is just one. No, Witch Bolt is just one electrical bolt that remains in place. Show spell description. I'll put it in there. So a beam of energy. So second level or higher, it increases by 1d12. So it should be 2. I should have gotten 2d12 out of that. So first
Why did it roll 1, 2, 3,
12.
4?
Did you use the second level spell slot?
Yeah,
It's
it
not
asked
based
me.
on the level of your
and
character. It's
I
based
used
on
it.
the. Okay, there you go.
Why did it? I wonder why it only
So I'm
rolled.
gonna.
Yeah, because it's only showing 1d12 equals 5.
Yeah.
For-
Well, it's
yeah.
got a 13 above, which is rolling 2d12, 5 plus 8. So 13 is the total. I don't know why it only showed. So it would have been 5 if it was a single level spell. 13
I
is the
see.
higher
Yeah.
level cast.
Weird. Yeah. I don't know why it
So
did that.
13 points. Yeah. I don't know. I've never seen it do that before. So 13 points of electrical damage and a electrical stream continues to connect him and me at this point as I maintain concentration.
Okay, let me see how I can do this. Maybe like that. It looks more like a worm,
work.
but hey, there you go.
Yeah, that's all right.
Now I might have something fancier in my assets. If you want something fancier, maybe.
We'll just keep moving. We're okay for now.
See, now you got me all curious. Like, no, I don't have an electrical bolt. I have combat magic 1, but I don't have an electrical bolt for some reason. All right, Anvil goes. All right,
We're
Anvil
okay.
is going. Where? Let's see. We're here. Put him. Stop drawing on the map. Remove him back so I can see. Anyway, Anvil is going to move 5, 10 out of the fire. That's the first thing he's going to do. Then he's going to do some fighter stuff. All right, so first thing he will do is he is going to use second wind. No, he's not. Yes, this is a bonus action. Or which am I looking for? I'm looking for this one. Action surge. So you can take 1 additional action and a possible bonus action. So he's going to attack twice with his Warhammer. And when he does so, he's going to drop his shield to grab it with both hands for maximum damage. We hope. All right, attack number 1.
No.
Is a 25. Attack number 2 is a 14, and both of them will hit.
Ooh, awesome.
For 26 damage with a magical weapon. So let's put this dude back up here so I can put some damage on him. Math is hard. It said 26, right? Yeah. Okay. Now, unfortunately,
Don't
that's.
forget to take your hit points back.
Yep, he's got to roll 2d10.
Those.
Yep. Second wind hit points too. I'm gonna roll these two on 1 and 6.
Oh.
So he's. So yeah, I keep rolling an extra time. So he's gonna still take 7 damage from hitting him twice, and then the second wind hit points because he can use that as well. I think.
Well, take your third roll hit points. 10 plus.
I'd hate to use. Yeah, I'd hate to do that. I'm afraid it might be unfair for him. But there's 10 anyway. Screw it. I guess he's getting 10 hit points. All right, so his hit points will go back up. And then you hear Anvils just say, bitch, and that's it. All right, Yuri.
Okay, Yuri is going to throw hammer again. Worked last or axe, sorry. Throw hand axe. Worked last time, should work this time. Okay, Yuri is going to use his point of inspiration to reroll that.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
What are the odds?
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
So
depressing.
you're all learning new curse words in Yuri's home language at this point. Says Yuri just launches expletives everywhere, like just very sweary.
Wow.
Yep, similar story with Boris. He's going to convince him to stick around, and if Elemental comes this way, to attack. And Yuri is just going to stand here and like radiate just pure fuming anger.
All right. The fire elemental is going to attempt to attack Anvil and then XR with his multi attacks. So first one is on Anvil, which is a fail. The second one is a 14, which I believe is going to miss as well. All right. He will move down into XR's space. And that's 1d10 automatic damage, which is 9 to XR fire damage. And then it goes to XR's turn.
I think the turn order is messed up.
The what?
The turn order?
Oh, what?
No, it should be the same, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still the same.
Okay. All right, then XR will take his attack. I lose concentration on the bless, and nothing I can do about that. So I'm going to swing. First, I'm going to attack with my spiritual weapon, which is still in range. 13 enough?
A 13 will barely hit him, but it will hit him.
I'll take a barely. So 7 force damage.
Okay, so it just rips through the center of the fire elemental.
XR is going to back up and where am I at here? 14. I'm going to take the help action. So I'll say I take my shield and start swiping my shield through the fire elemental in a crazy motion.
Okay, it's sort of, when you do it, it sort of like picks up almost like a bear, like on two legs, sort of like on this dome shape, as it's sort of moving around the wind caused from the shield.
Very good. So next
All
attack
right.
on him should get advantage, and I will end my turn.
Okay, it goes now to Draenor.
All right, so I still have my witch bolt up and running, so I can roll again using that, and we should get, now it's a 17 this time.
And that's damage, right?
And that's damage because because it's still in contact with.
Yeah.
It stays as long as I don't lose concentration. So it's 17 damage. Yep.
Yep. So basically another sort of jolt of electricity fires down that bolt and slaps into the thing, and the force is enough. You see it sort of pull up into the air, and just the fire elemental dissipates.
Nice.
Oh, killing blow.
Killing blow.
Well done.
Give yourself an inspiration for that one, Aaron. Good job, guys.
Fantastic.
That was sort of hit or miss there for a minute.
No casualties.
Nope.
No casualties. Clear all of the drawings here.
Fatal casualties. I believe we've had casualties. We've just not had any fatal casualties.
Hmm.
I've taken damage. I know that Anvil took plenty of damage.
All right.
Now, we should be able to reach the brazier now.
I
Okay.
agree. Are you going to go first, XR?
Why not?
No, as soon as you kill that fire elemental, the fire as it dissipates, like the energy from it flies into the brazier over there,
Ah,
and it sort of the flames get bigger.
analysis. Perhaps we shall find the gem at the brazier.
Okay. Yuri's going with, he's got his own pet theory that at the very least, if this thing's storing elemental energy, there might be a way to get it to release it at somebody.
Okay, XR, when you get near this thing, you are immediately going to notice that there is a large symbol matching the cloth, the symbol on the cloth that Orlin gave you at the bottom. Inside the fire itself is floating an orange gem within the fire itself.
Well, how do we get gem out of fire? Good question.
And we'll walk over there, stand there.
All right.
Yuri would like to investigate the brazier itself and see if it has any dampers or anything with which to quench the flames.
Okay, sure.
An eject button.
Yes. Can anyone perhaps help him?
If it's investigation, then
I
XR
am
can
more
help.
than happy to.
Okay. Oh, Yuri rolls a 17.
A thorough investigation around the brazier itself doesn't reveal any kind of switches or buttons of any kind. Though strangely enough, the brazier itself is very, very cool, despite the fire that's sort of erupting from around the gem.
I'm going to. Draenor reaches in to grab the jewel, the gem.
You reach right into the fire, it doesn't burn at all, and you grab the gem, and then the fire just sort of seeps into the gem itself, and the gem feels warm in your hand, and you can easily remove it.
There we go then. Done and done.
Nice.
I look at everyone else and say, very simple. No heat, no hurt.
All right, you guys have now completed this dungeon. So I will tell you what's going to happen next for you guys from here, and we're going to get into some story stuff. But before I do that, I have to pull up another file because you just completed chapter 1. I also need to give you guys some XP as well. All right.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Whoop whoop. Okay, make sure I've got given you guys everything that you're supposed to have in this dungeon. Oh, I do have, I think, one more thing that I'm supposed to give you. Where happened to my mouse? Where's my mouse? There you are, mouse.
Giving us
Let
a
me make sure.
mouse.
Oh, that would be funny. Actually, I did something like that in another game, and they adopted the damn thing. And then it turned into a dog. Okay. So when you remove the gem and the fire disappears, there's actually a small slip of paper inside, and unfolding it will reveal this, which is very important.
Anyone speak Draconic?
If only you
Xar does
spoke
not.
Draconic. Yes, no, we need
Panjed.
yes. The redneck
We
paladin.
need Panjet back, yes.
All right. So I'll tell you what's going to happen next then, and you guys can work through some of these things. All right. So you leave this, you go back through the dungeon the way that you came. And once you get outside, you hand over the gem to Orlin. They take it, they install it into the airship, which is inside the cave proper, and they push the airship out, and then they release the clamps that open up the power rings on the airship. So they have these power rings that stretch out, and whenever the elemental gems are activated, it forms this big elemental ring around the thing they can use to maneuver. So the Wayfarers, the ship's called the Wayfarer. The Wayfarer's crew pushes the ship out, and it's hoisted up on these wielding scaffolds. They activate this thing first, some of the elemental energies, which lifts it up into the air. Orlin says to you all, he says, I believe your journey is with me and my crew, and I invite you all and your friend Amos to travel with us to Marketplace to figure out where we're going to go to next. Anybody here want to ride an airship?
Oh yeah. This thing is all up Yuri's business. He wants to know everything about this airship.
Cool. So you all get onto the main deck. Ugug is there as well. Charlotte takes her position in the cockpit, which is surrounded by glass. Amos is standing behind you guys and to your left. And Ugug actually pulls out a pair of goggles and puts it over his face. And he says, you see this big kind of toothy grin that forms on his face. And he says, I love this part. And Orlin disappears for a moment. When he returns, he has enough goggles for all of you to wear. And he says, you're going to need these because this baby is fast. He says it's faster than any airship in any fleet in the entire land. At least any of the medium to large size ones. The smaller ones are a bit faster, but you get the drift. So he gives you all goggles for you to put on, and he climbs into the cockpit with Charla, and you see her chant something, and her dragon mark on her arms actually lights up and glows blue even inside the cockpit itself. The ship sort of vibrates a bit gently, and you see the elemental controls on these giant pylons that come out on either side of the ship. They light up, these runes on the light up, and this massive circular yellow disc surrounds the entire ship in this low-pitched hum. It rises up from its moorings, and then as the thing goes faster and stronger, the rings pitch. That warbling sound becomes higher pitched as it moves faster, and the thing launches into the sky much faster than airships that its size are capable. Ugug looks down at you all and he says, you should make yourself comfortable. As long as we don't see any pirates, it'll take us between 10 and 15 days to get to our destination. He says this thing can fly from 0 to 60 miles per hour. It's a medium-sized ship, but that's a heck of a lot faster than most. And you've heard often about the larger ships. They usually fly between 20 and 40 miles per hour before they start pulling apart. But the Wayfarer is like extraordinarily engineered by Orlin and also much more maneuverable. But this rare power source that you found that allows this thing to be powered in its way. It's got a crew of about 10 people. It can carry roughly 20 passengers. So you've got you technically it'll be 5 when Panjed comes back. You 5. You have Amos on board. Then you've got Orlin, Ugg, and Charla, and then you've got the 10 crew members. So you've got 19 people on board right now. Just for your info, the ship can carry about 1 ton of cargo with a fully loaded crew. So you can talk to any individuals on board, but right now the only people of interest are Amos, Orlin, Charla, and Amos, Orlin, Charla, and Uggo.
Cool.
Cole, what happened to the that chest of silver that we passed? Were we able to go back and scoop some out?
Yes, yeah, they're able. The crew actually, once the whole place is cleared out, they actually help you come in and take the silver out, so you can put that in your store as well. And did I give you guys the gold from the chest that was in the throne room? Do I need to roll for that? Because I couldn't remember if I gave it to
You
you.
didn't even mention that.
All right,
No,
so
you
let me
did
go
not
ahead and do
mention
that.
gold in the
Aaron's like, you are not going to forget my gold. No.
no.
All right. There we go. 84 gold pieces.
Ooh.
I don't know why it's making me do it twice, but 84 gold pieces, plus all the silver pieces you have, the silver ingot, the piece of the draconic prophecy. That should be everything as far as the stuff that you got out of the dungeon.
Okay.
Excellent. I have a question for you, Cole.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, where are we going, did they say?
Yeah, you can talk to anybody on the ship, and so Orlin, Charlotte, and Ugo all will tell you that you're headed to the city of Marketplace. It is in southern Allendare.
That's what I heard you say.
Yep, and
we're
if you
going
look,
to Allendare. Okay.
yes, and in fact, if you look at a map of Ebron, or actually it'd be Corvair, then you can actually see the spots that you're going to on the map at this time, anyway.
Okay. So I believe perhaps at this point, Draenor departs the group before it takes off.
Yes, so
And we have
what we talked about.
Yes. So when the group exited the dungeon, the ruins, Draenor carries on him a signal token that notified him that the house that he is a member of is calling him back to the Moorholds. He will no longer be travel with you at this point, and he wishes you all well. He basically is unhappy with the fact that his duties will take him elsewhere. And before you board the ship, he wishes you all well. He gives you the items that were found on the in the last couple sessions, so that he will not need he returns to the Moorholds. But when you come onto the airship, in addition to the individuals that Cole mentioned, you do see a halfling standing next to a raptor or clawfoot dinosaur. He is in conversation with the dinosaur, and the dinosaur tilting his head back and forth as if he is in a rapt conversation as well, understanding everything that's being said to him. You can overhear some raptor perhaps in the background talks a little bit back towards this halfling, This halfling appears to be somewhat of in primitive type garb. No apparent armor. He has a large blade attached to a staff. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with Talenta Plains halflings, but if so, you may recognize him as a member of that race, and he wears a brooch of a leaf on his person, similar to the ones that you all have. So he is also on this ship, and Draenor is going to move on from this adventure to who knows where. So at this point, we'll leave it at that, where it comes to Draenor's removal from the party.
All right.
All right, I'll leave it at that.
So you guys will have a new travel companion going from here forward. And if there's any other changes anybody wants to make, since you're still level 3, now's the time we'll probably need to do to change those. We're not done playing tonight, by the way. But we're going to go to Marketplace, and there's going to be a lot of RP there. So what I want to do here is take a short break, make sure that if you want to need to get a snack, pee, whatever like that. And then Aaron, if you want to go ahead and switch over those characters. I've got your blanks there for you, and we'll start back in, let's say, maybe 15 minutes or so. Does that work?
No problem.
Sure.
Definitely.
And then, yep. And if you want to talk to anyone
Yep.
on the ship, like Orlin or Charla or Ugug, Amos is going to kind of go meditate. So he will be, but he's around as well. You can also talk to any of them on the airship, because you've got like a 10 to 15 day journey to Marketplace. But then we're going to be in Marketplace. You guys are going to have some time to RP some stuff and do some other different things. So good?
Definitely would be asking if any of the crew or the officers read Draconic text, since none of us do.
We will find out.
Giddy up.
All right.
All right.
So about 15, 20. All right. We'll be back in a few minutes.
All right. Yep.
Yep.
Anybody else back yet? Mitchell, you out there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm with you.
You all right, Aaron?
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm here, Cole.
You working on your character sheet, Aaron?
I've got it all made and usable right now, connected through Beyond 20. So for tonight, I have everything up and going. I just never got them transferred over
Okay.
to Roll 20 sheets. But I'll probably have those. I'll probably use those easier to go back and forth to the game. By the
There's a way
but I like
to
Beyond 20.
there's a way to connect your D&D Beyond account to character
I did.
sheet.
It
you did?
is. It is.
Oh, well,
Yep.
oh, so you
It
should be able
is.
to
Yeah.
just
So I might just keep it.
yeah. All I'll need is
I just rolled just to test it, and it worked. So
Oh, sweet. Let me go ahead and get your new stats for your AC and your passive perception.
yeah.
Need to make a token for that guy too. Okay, what's his name?
Tobo, Toebo.
Toebo. All right. Let me go and put a. Do you care what kind of token I use, or can I just grab like a halfling token that's from Everin?
Do whatever you. Yep. Do whatever you want right now.
How wild do you want him to look?
Oh heck. Let's just see if this comes over to you. I'm not sure. I just tried. You can put anything that you have. Technically, he's ghost wise halfling subrace, but he's a Talenta Plains halfling. So whatever you want to use for now is fine. He's more of a primitive looking than he is a city looking.
How about let's see here. How about do you see on Roll20? Do you see the Tobo token?
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely.
Cool.
That's the one we used for the halfling paladin.
Yeah.
I think last game.
Rambo.
So that works for me right now. Yeah, it's Tobo instead of Rambo now.
Yeah, perfect. Now we need. I'm going to delete. Bye, Draenor. I have enjoyed you so much.
Oh, don't tell me that. You can put him in. You can put him in as an NPC down the road.
I probably will. I want to reuse him again because he's a cool character. Okay, I need to find a good. Might be able to find one online. He's a raptor, right?
Yeah. So let me. I'll send this to you real quick onto Discord, and you can decide if you wanna. If it's easy enough to switch over. I mean, I don't know how complicated, but I just put a picture on the general Discord of a mounted halfling if you want to use it anyway. If not, you do whatever you can. And I don't know, do we even need tokens for the role playing aspect tonight, or are we going to end up in a situation
Maybe.
where
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay.
I just need to figure out why that. So I see the token. I can save the image, but it's not letting me. It's not actually showing it up. It's just showing a blank.
Okay.
Oh, there he goes. That worked that time. All right, rename Dino guy. So what we'll just need to do is make sure
And
that
I'll
whenever,
introduce him.
yeah, when you're mounted, just let me,
Yep.
be like, hey, I'm
We'll use
mounted.
one.
Hey, I'm not mounted.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I doubt there'll be a lot of need to have him mounted, to be honest. He just do his own thing. All right, there's that.
At least for now, he probably will do a lot unmounted, but we'll see down. Well, I think he probably will do a lot unmounted, but we'll have his clawfoot accompanying him. He can't. What's a Talenta halfling without a dinosaur?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw. Does your dinosaur have a name?
Yep, it is Bone Nar. Like he's gnawing on a bone. Bone Nar.
BONEGN.
GNAWER. AWER.
Bonar.
Yep.
All right, there he is.
Boner for short.
I see what you did there. I'm gonna get a collection of these. The great thing about being adult is being able to eat what you want when you want. It's like
Oh,
generally,
hell yeah.
I mean, I'm eating toaster strudels for a snack. That's awesome.
Oh, that is awesome. How's Maggie doing? You said she's
Great.
much better?
Oh yeah. She took Augmentin for 7 days, and then she started getting a lot better after about 4. The only difficult we had is because she doesn't want to take medicine. It's like she has an aversion to it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, a lot of kids that age just don't do well with this.
they really don't. It's like she's scared of medicine like my wife is scared of needles, and like I'm afraid of my wife. So, but yeah, she's over it, and that's good. It's something that caused her to have some kind of an effect. She's already had COVID, so it's just like she was feeling
Yeah.
bad that Friday, and the doctor was like, "Well, she can still have her play date and everything. It's just her cough's really bad." Well, then that night, of course, she spiked a fever. We took her to urgent care, and they said, "Yeah, she's got a blood vessel in her nose that's so swollen it's about to rupture, and I may have to cauterize it."
Oh.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I've had a cauterized vessel in my nose too
Oh
in the
God.
past. I mean, nothing as that young, but yeah, it can make a mess if
Ugh.
if it's that close and it's engorged, and so it never actually did any leakage.
So the doctor said, the urgent care doctor, we see him a good bit on the weekends if we have to go get anywhere. He said give her Afrin, like he was doing like 3 sprays a day in that nostril to close the blood, make the blood vessels smaller, and that worked. So
Yep. Good.
Yep. And we didn't get sick for like 8-10 months, and then January hit, or no, like right before Christmas hit, and it was just like bam, 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 bam. I'm hoping like we'll get over it. I'm hoping and then be well for another 18 months. But I've got to go back to the nephrologist in June, so I'm not looking forward to that. But
Kidney issues?
yeah, I mean, I have no symptoms at all. They found it on a random blood test last July, and my creatinine level was up. They did ultrasounds and everything, nothing on the ultrasounds. Finally did a biopsy in October, and he thinks it's acute. And he said it doesn't make a lot of sense because I don't have any symptoms. And I'm 42. I'm way too young, he said, to be having like kidney issues. So he thinks it's acute, and he said, like, the ends of the cells that filter out protein are slightly degraded, but he's been talking to all of his colleagues, and they can't figure what could make it either without me having like a whole bunch of symptoms. So
Yeah.
I've got protein in my blood, but not in my urine. And he said we're going to watch it then, because I was seeing him like every 1, 2, 3 months. So he said we're waiting 6 months. I'm going to go back, do more blood work, and the only thing he could think of is maybe the vaccine did it. He's very pro-vaccine. We're pro-vaccine, but
Well,
you know,
and you had COVID?
I had COVID in
I
this
mean,
past
you
January.
had, yeah, yeah. But so you basically had the vaccine, then these symptoms developed, then you actually got infected with.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
I got the vaccine
Well,
last
that
summer.
sucks because, yeah, I'm pro vaccine as well as health person. You know, I haven't heard a lot of, other than, specifically clotting disorders that have been a significant side effect of vaccine. A lot that points to a trend in any other area. Who's to say? The vaccine or the virus is.
Oh, we lost you there.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back. I got
Hello?
to the virus. Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I got to the viruses.
Good. Yeah, the virus, they've definitely caused clotting disorders. That's proven to be a side effect. And who's to say there aren't, sporadic other things out there that have been damaged? The virus itself is so bizarre in the way it works. I'm a big proponent for the vaccines as a nurse. I'd hate to think, damage can be caused from them, but who can really say right now?
I don't know. My nephrologist, he said, it's so rare to see some of the side effects. I've heard about like heart enlargement, but I actually saw my allergist on Friday and mentioned it, and he asked if I was taking the booster, and I said my nephrologist has recommended me not to take the booster because we don't know if it's the vaccine that could have done it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we're just kind of waiting to see, and then I'm hoping beyond hope that when I had COVID, it didn't damage them further. But I still haven't had any symptoms,
Right.
you know.
Well, right
But
now
am I-
you had COVID in January, you said?
yeah, I did.
This past January. Well, you're good for like say at least 6 months having, natural immunity right now.
Yeah,
Actually, the initial vaccinations, booster wouldn't be necessary right now.
right.
But hopefully, a little bit more eventually, because I have a real feeling this is a yearly recommendation in time. I mean, they're looking at trying to come up with all variant coverage vaccine so that we could do it on a yearly basis like flu shot. We'll
Yeah,
see how successful they are at that.
yeah. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I know he said like he had. Well, it was my allergist. I was talking about my allergist, and I said, yeah, it's weird because it's a possibility that the vaccine may have damaged those cells. And it doesn't look like they're badly damaged. It looks like he said it looks like it's acute. That's what they think. So, of course, I didn't know difference between, I'm not a medical professional. I didn't know the difference between acute and chronic. I can talk about the Civil War, World War II, and Native American removal all day long and tell you everything you want to know about it, probably. But, it comes but you explain, okay, well, it's probably sudden damage. It may not get any better, but it probably won't get any worse. And then of course that was December, and then I had COVID in January. It's like next week. So yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful about it, but I'm cautiously optimistic. Just because like I said, I haven't had any symptoms. That's the thing. I haven't had any symptoms at all, and the only change is that I got put on blood pressure medicine last year because and I've got my family has high blood pressure, so I got put on blood pressure last year, and that's the only other change that I've had. So I don't know. It's just weird, And when I changed my diet. I changed my diet dramatically, and I've lost like 30 pounds, and I'm not a
Fantastic.
go to the gym and work out time. Yeah. So I'm a short guy. I'm 5'5". I went from I had lost 10 pounds before all this mess happened, but then I changed my diet more and started exercising more, and I went from 100 my highest was 178, and I'm 5'5", and I went down to 146. So
Well, that sounds a
um,
lot healthier.
yeah,
No
I feel a
wonder.
lot
I mean, it
better.
makes I expected that type of thing with the hand that and the shorter side of the average, than 6 foot plus with pseudo hobbit as your
Yeah.
handle.
Yeah, my students sometimes call me Professor Hobbit because they know I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I always talk about Tolkien too. When I talk about World War One, I talk about war-torn authors, and I talk about Tolkien and like him and Kurt Vonnegut and Ernest Hemingway, and how they related to the wars in the 1920s and things like that. So I get into all that stuff.
That's cool. You looking forward to
Yeah.
the Amazon series, or are you thinking it's going to be a wash?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I think they're going to do it right. Now, The Wheel of Time, I tried to watch that and I hated it. I mean, that's just my
Yeah,
opinion. It just
I
was
didn't
not.
like it. It was it deviated. Maybe it can come back, but I wasn't a big fan
Yeah.
of the book.
Have you
But
watched?
they
I tell
didn't
you what,
go
I've
and
been.
go ahead.
Oh, I lost you there again.
No,
I'll
yep,
tell you
go
what
ahead.
I really have liked is now to be fair, I've always liked the different series, but I have been absolutely obsessed with Star Trek Discovery.
What is
That
that
is one
on?
of the best.
Paramount?
Yes, on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Paramount Plus has got awesome stuff on there. I was really pleasantly surprised. But I'll tell you, and I've been watching Picard too. I started watching it this week, but
Yeah,
I
I
started
would like
watching
to watch
Discovery, and
that.
oh man, it's so both of them are great. But I'll tell you, Discovery is not just one of the best Star Treks I've ever watched; it's one of the best shows I've ever watched. It's that good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And the guy they play one of the seasons has Captain Pike in it. If you know anything about Star
Yeah,
Trek lore, and
yeah.
the guy who oh man, the guy they got playing Pike on there, he is amazing. And they're going to come out with a new show soon called Strange New Worlds, I think, and he's going to be playing Pike again. I can't wait. He nails that role. And is one of the best
That's
characters
cool.
in the series. But yeah, the characters in that show are some of my favorite of any show I've watched. And I mean, like the last, I won't tell you what happens, but I just finished the last show of season 4 yesterday because it dropped yesterday, and I literally got chills at the end. It was so good. And they're supposed to have a season 5, so I'm just like, yeah, just keep it coming. Every single season has been just absolutely amazing. They haven't even had a bad season on Discovery. Every one of them has just been nail biting. Great character development, great great actors, the whole 9 yards. I mean, everything about that show is good. Everything. And I just realized that I'm streaming, so I'm
Wow.
not being. I should probably note I am not being paid to say that. It's just that good.
You're not being paid. Yeah.
To say that because I realized we're streaming here.
I don't know.
So,
I'm pretty sure I saw the little Paramount logo flash on the screen there.
no, yeah,
This is a paid
They're not
promotion by
sponsored.
yeah.
Paramount
This
TV.
is not a paid promo. I am not getting paid by any streaming services. I just really like good shows. Sorry, we've been watching that. We've been watching a few things, but my wife doesn't really like a lot of sci-fi stuff, but like I've always
Yeah,
liked Star Trek.
I found Amazon did a great job with Reacher. That series just came out. I really enjoyed that. They did a terrible job with Wheel of Time. They did a terrible job with their remake of the.
Yeah, we were just
Yeah. I've been listening in. Yeah, they did a terrible job with their remake of what is it? The not The Shining. The Stand. They did
Oh,
that
it was
last.
bad.
Oh yeah.
It was just
I didn't even
really
watch
bad.
it.
Yeah, like it's one of
Oh,
these
I
things
hate
where
that.
like I don't, I mean, I totally understand and get when you need to make changes to a book to accommodate, the time frame that you have to tell it. And The Stand is a large book, so you got to cut out huge chunks of it.
Huge.
But it's when they don't just cut out chunks of it, but then they insert storylines into it that had nothing to do with the original book, and it just doesn't make any sense. And that one even had what's his name, Stephen King's son working on it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They also, I mean, I found they also did a really bad job with American Gods. And
Oh, that's sad.
yeah, and when I say a really
Oh, I
bad
love
job,
that book. Love that.
oh well, this is it. Like that's my take on it, right? Like you can wander off from a book's premise as long as you stay true to the spirit of the book. And I found that with, like I say, American Gods, The Stand, and Wheel of Time, where they just wandered off too many of the basic premises and plots of the book. An example of the one time that I know that they did a really excellent job was Good Omens. That's both a
Oh,
fantastic book and an
fantastic.
excellent
Oh, that was
series.
great.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
anything with Dave and Tennant in it is gold.
oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, they
Yeah.
couldn't have picked anyone better for that role than him. But we loved that show. We binge watched the whole thing
They're making
in a weekend.
They're talking about another season.
Yeah, they're doing a sequel to it. Yep, yeah. It's
Are they really?
yeah.
Yep.
So this will be like they had who is it? It was Terry Pratchett and who's the other author? Trying to think of the other author of it.
Neil Gaiman?
Neil Gaiman, yeah, that's it. So Neil Gaiman did the show running for it, and I think that's one of the reasons why. Like, if you see, like, American Gods is another one of his books, and he didn't have as much to do with it. Whereas with Good Omens, he was on there as a showrunner, and so the show kept true to the message of the book, even if it wandered off from the actual plot.
Because he had the creative control.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
same as The Expanse. The authors are the showrunners, so they can.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
this is
The
good.
Expanse is another one that they do a great job with. Yeah, that's true.
I'm sad that it's over though.
It'll be back. They got three more books to convert. So
Everybody's gonna be old, right? I mean, don't they get
Yeah.
like really old?
they do, but they set things up in the final season for those storylines, so they're gonna come for sure. Last one I want to slip in before we resume is A Series of Unfortunate Events on Netflix. Was a brilliant adaptation.
Right.
My
yeah.
wife
yeah.
really liked that.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get into that one. I don't know why. There's something about it that I wanted there to be some kind of supernatural, I guess, element to it. And I just couldn't get hooked. I love Jim Carrey, but I just couldn't get hooked on that.
Well, that
Are
was
you-
the original movie with Jim Carrey. The remake was with Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, that's right. No, Patrick Harris. I was thinking about that. That's right.
Yeah, and it was great. If you read the books, which we have here, just loved it.
All right. Yuri's kind of curious about heading to a place called Marketplace.
All right. So, I sent you guys a link
Did you?
for a map for Corvair. So you can actually click it and zoom in on that map, and then you can, if you click like open original, and let's see here. Actually, you guys, I think might be. I'm gonna double check. You should be in southern, like one of the southernmost areas of Allendale, which I'm probably masquering the name, but that's okay. So you actually be able to see where Marketplace is on the
Yep, I
map.
found it.
Yep. So that's where you're going. And so a couple things I want to point out about the location here. So you'll notice that dotted line right there. Or not, sorry, not dotted line, the red line there. That is the lightning rail. It comes through Marketplace. So you actually have access to that. But before we get to all that good stuff, all right, so it takes you very little time to get there. You're on the low side here, so around 10, 11 days you get to Marketplace. The ship descends about 1,000 feet above this village, and from above you can actually see the center of the settlement consists of several buildings. The larger ones are in the center of the town, made of a reddish yellow brick and shingled roofs. From a distance, you can hear the crackle of lightning and the boom of the lightning rail coming to a halt beside the village, and then it'll take off later. So, this is one of its stops. Around the outside of the village are numerous tents of various sizes and carts. So, think about this as like concentric circles that get bigger, right? So, on the inside, you got the buildings, and these tents and carts on the next level. And the wayfarer moves towards this large field that's near the village, and there's like this spread of forest that goes out, and there's about a half a dozen other airships that float about 50 feet above the field, and they have ladders and such that go down, and you can see the crews actually load and unload cargo on the ground. They're making repairs. They're sitting around in these pop-up camps relaxing, and the wayfarer flies among the other ships, and the elemental ring will cut off, and these ships actually are able to float without the rings on, and they drop a ladder down. And Orland's going to say that our contact should arrive tonight. You can do what business you need to inside and around the village, and he gives you a sending stone. He says, I'll contact you when it's time to meet and with the location as well. Now, of course, on the way up here, if you want to talk to Orlin or Charlotte or Ugg or Amos, any of those, you're more than welcome before you get here. But I want to let you know what's going to happen when you do arrive. So what you want to do here is up to you at this point. So I'm just going to leave that open.
Can we find out if any of our crewmates speak or read Draconic?
Charlotte does read Draconic.
Can we ask her to translate the note we found? I feel it's safe to show it to Charlotte. Does anyone disagree?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, let's see. This would be Draconic Prophecy Fragment 1. All right, so she will translate that. So what I'm going to do is I actually have everything that's already translated, and I'm going to put it up here in the description box so it'll change. All right, and now everything is edited with your translation of the Draconic Prophecy Fragment 1.
Oh.
I can't seem to get.
Give me that one more time.
Oh. It sounds almost like it could be talking about a particular group of individuals.
Cole, can you display it again? Can't seem to click. And I really want to read what it's.
Yeah, trying to figure out how I might do that. Because I can click show to players. Let me see if I can do it where I can just put it just in yours as well. Okay, see if you can access your journal now and look and see if it's in there. It'll be Draconic Prophecy Fragment 1.
Yep, 1. And that's what I'm.
Okay, that's
And you
weird.
cannot see the translation?
No, I don't see anything.
How about I pop it into the chat?
I mean, I can always.
Wait, are you
That'll
looking
work.
at Dungeon Dragon Prophecy or Draconic Prophecy Fragment 1? because there are two.
Draconic prophecy. I'm trying to. I can't open. Trying. I know is what you.
Dave threw it in the chat.
Okay. There it is. Thank you, Dave.
It's all good.
We'll see if we'll get another "oh damn" from Aaron tonight after he reads it. This guy.
Oh, damn.
I just put Ugg in your journals as well because I know you guys have met him.
So Cole, you were asking what we were doing during the 10 days of travel, correct?
Yes.
So Yuri would have split his time. He would have been pestering Orlin as much as Orlin would let him about the workings of the ship and in general. Like, this is something that he would know in the abstract, but where he worked, while they dealt with like big engines, they didn't deal with anything as like anything like a flying ship. That was not his particular guild's expertise. So he would know like a lot of theoretical stuff about it. So he'd be bugging Orlin and pretty much anyone that worked down in the engineering section. He'd just be like around all the time asking questions, probably getting caught like, touching things and like just I think that the general vibe would be he's about 5 seconds away at any moment from trying to take the ship apart, and the only thing that's stopping him is realizing that it would probably collapse into the ground if he did.
Okay. Let me.
Sorry, and I should just continue. The other thing that he would be doing is studying that book on juggling that he picked up.
Gotcha. Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, he's not very persuasive. He's not a friendly person.
I'm gonna roll one as well. Apparently, Orlin isn't either. Okay, so Orlin will allow you to come around him with the ship. He says, well, he could use help from another artificer, so he is actually one as well. And he begins to tell you a little bit about his life. So the first thing that he'll tell you here, let's see here. All right, so you got the description of him already in your journal, but he also is going to tell you that he was actually born before the Great War on the coast of what became Zalargo, which is now this independent. And that's actually on the map too. You would know where that is. He says that his wife, Pradisa, was actually a wizard who studied the arcane and taught at this small private school for children. And he'll let you know that she later became a minor diplomat, and the two met when he commanded an airship transport to Sharn. But he actually worked on airships, and he begins to show you some of the inner workings of this one, how he has made some of the magical runic connections to the various engine components more efficient. And some of the special materials, woods that the ship is made of, allows it to be lighter and faster and more maneuverable. But there's a lot of specific design secrets that he doesn't quite reveal just yet, but he does give you several pieces of information about the ship.
Okay, good. Yeah, Yuri would be making notes on this kind of stuff. Like more just this isn't in any way like he's not trying to steal any secrets or anything. It's more just an appreciation for another artificer's work.
Yeah, he says, "I tell you what, stick with me, kid. I'll show you some more stuff."
Fantastic.
Anything
Yeah.
else
So,
you want to talk to him?
no. I think yeah. I mean, like I think that would just be it. He like Yuri would really just be obsessed with the workings of the ship, and like I say, in any remaining time, he'd be reading that book about juggling to get.
All right. Others.
I think XR would be just trying
Uh,
to reconcile the differences in Orlan and his crew's behavior versus the way they had been described by John Stapleton earlier.
So yeah, that's a good question. Who would you like to, or what would you like to do in order to do that?
Meditate. I
Meditate?
think, well, yeah, I think he's just he's a pretty insightful Warforged cleric, I think. So I think it'd be very clear to him that he's received two very different narratives, and the generosity and peaceful nature of Orlan seems to be the valid narrative. So he would be basically concluding that Stapleton had tried to deceive them. So I guess after thinking on it, he might reach out directly to Orlan and inquire why Stapleton had manipulated the party the way he did. Why does Orlan think he did that?
Roll me a persuasion check.
All right, this is my jam. Oh! Every now and then
All
you get
right.
lucky.
All right. So this is what Orlin is going to tell you. He sort of breaks down for a minute and says, "Well, I guess you trusted me to come on my ship, so I'll trust you with this as well." Um, he says over the years, Pradisa's rank in the government rose. She was very good at her job. But as the war raged on between the nations of Corvair, Breland's government became desperate. A group of mercenaries captured her and threatened me, so I would have to work for Breland and design more airships and some of their weapons. I acquiesced. I did what their government wanted, but I was threatened to do this in secret. So other governments in my homeland didn't know what happened, even though Breland was forcing me to work under the threat of my wife. So the triumvirate of Zalargo were angry at the actions of Breland. They threatened military action against Breland, but the war proved that their desire to help me, if they suspected anything at all, didn't help. They eventually, I realized that my wife probably was not safe. But I held hope that she was. And my work continued until the war ended. But then a group of drunken soldiers, celebrating because of the war's end, managed to kill her by accident. I've never forgiven Breland for it. But they continued to force me to work for them. Still, I slowly worked to get a crew together, including Charla and Ugug. And I broke away free of Breland, built this airship, and promised to avenge my wife. Unfortunately, her body was never given back to me for burial. And vengeance will be served, and I'm going to use this ship as its tool. But in order to do that, there are other things that need to be done, including to help our benefactor, who has promised me um, the capacity to see that revenge is taken swiftly. My handler was the good captain until I escaped.
Gotcha.
And I've updated all of his information on his character description to include all of that for you.
Does
When you
chapter
do
two
go to
have a
me-
title?
yes, it's called Ride the Lightning. While you go into your meditation, Ugg sort of finds interest in you, and sometimes he gets you'll open your eyes to see him kind of right in your face, and he just kind of pokes your head just a little bit, and he goes, interesting."
Query. Has the ogre Ugg not worked with Warforged units previously?
He looks at you and he kind of tilts his head. He says, "Why must it be an ogre? I'm just Ugg. Do you have a problem with ogres? I'm not angry. I'm just curious."
Response. This unit identifies Ugg and categorizes Ugg as an ogre. No offense was intended. Please accept this unit's apology if offense was given.
He says, "Oh, no offense at all. By chance, do you play chess?"
Um, Reply. This unit has never learned to play the game chess.
He kind of rubs his chin. He says, "Would you like to learn to play chess?"
Reply. This unit does not entirely understand the humanoid need to keep busy during downtime. However, this unit is always eager to learn more about humanoid behaviors and would accept the invitation by the ogre Ugg.
He says, "Well, that is not the answer I expected, but good, good." And he claps his hands together. He says, "I shall return." He comes back in about 5 minutes with a small portable chess set, sets it down, and he begins to go over the rules. And he starts to ask you about like where you're from, your personal history, things like that.
Yeah, and XR would be very forthcoming in all those things. No need to hide.
As he starts to teach you out the pieces, he suddenly says, checkmate. You must think far ahead than you do now. I'll reset the board up." And he sets the board up again, and he says, "So, what are your opinions about the Lord of Blades?"
I'm just checking my notes. What's the Lord of Blades?
He says, "The Lord of Blades. You're a Warforged and you haven't heard of the Lord of Blades? I don't think many of the Warforged outside of the Mournland have heard of the Lord of Blades. He is a madman, mad being. I'm not sure what the term would be. He leads massive group of troops, all Warforged, within the Mournland. They've taken over places as if it's their empire."
It probably
Very
makes sense.
dangerous.
I would have heard about these guys, right? I'm guessing as a veteran who's been making his way across country to take the job, I would have heard of these guys before.
That's up to you. It would all depend on what you think about your personal background. If you want this to be the first time you've heard of them, or if you don't, either way.
Let's do that, just because then I don't have to fake it till I make it. I can just start not knowing anything.
Sure. So he says yes. He says there's many mysteries about the Warforged, known as the Lord of Blades. He is one of those powerful entities in the Moorland. Of course, these are the rumors that we hear. But it is his domain, and he controls it, at least as much as he can control it with his army. There are other horrors in that place, as far as we know, too. But we're not scavengers. We work outside of those mist walls. But be careful. There are other warforged in this world who would want to corrupt one such as yourself. You might even be on the precipice of changing yourself, and you don't even know it. The line between good and evil are very it's very thin.
Analysis. This unit disagrees with the ogre Ugg. Good and evil are clear concepts. This unit seeks to serve the greater good in the name of the Church of the Silver Flame. This unit has been designed and trained and directed to seek out things that threaten life and to provide service to humanoid beings in Corvair.
He
Analysis.
looks. Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
The Lord of Blades does not appear to have received such direction, nor to possess a moral compass of service such as this unit.
He looks at you and he says, I only have one question for you then, Mr. XR. What do you want?
Reply. This unit seeks to find its place in a world without war.
Ugug says, I think that's what we all want. And while I do agree that the Church of the Silver Flame has a strong moral compass, and certainly I do believe that Aundair and the Church are probably our best role models for how to move forward and proceed, still doesn't answer the question what XR really wants with his life. I would think if peace comes, what then? Surely you have to have goals. And if you don't, that's fine. But sometimes it takes more to understand our self awareness, what we really want. For a long time, I had the same problem. I was the runt in my litter, and the disdain from my tribe grew when they learned that I was more intelligent. And that's okay. Some people have different strengths than others. And as a child, I was ostracized often. In fact, I was eventually left in the wilderness to die. And then the gnome artificer named Orlin Thistlecord found me, took pity on me. I could have been like them. I could have followed what they taught, their rules of order and destruction and maiming and killing. But that's not what I found that Ugg wanted. Peoples of Zalargo were welcoming to me. They helped raise me, and Orlin was my guide. He was a father figure. And although I could excel at strength based tasks like any other ogre might, I had a knack for learning. And I learned about religions and I was fluent in languages. I found that my direction in life was much different than what I've been taught. So, my friend Exar, I would ask you to think on it. I think it's fantastic that you have beliefs and that you believe you were created for certain things, but if I know people well, and I perhaps am not a good judge of character, I think there's more to you than maybe even you realize. By the way, you have me in check there, so I'm going to move here, and that's checkmate. You're doing well learning. Perhaps we can play a few more games. But not now. I think I'm needed on the upper deck. It's good talking to you, my friend. He stands up, he kind of brushes his legs off, and he said, But please, think about what I said.
Reply. This unit shall analyze, and this unit thanks the ogre Ugg for the lesson.
He says, one more thing. He says, I understand that finding yourself can be difficult. But as far as I'm concerned, and if it's all right with you, I don't think of you as this unit or that unit. You are Exar, the Warforged, and a friend. You are more than just a unit, Exar, even if you don't realize it yet. Perhaps one day I hope you will find yourself and develop your own goals to begin to call yourself by who you are. But you may not know who you are just yet. That's okay. Life is a journey, after all. He kind of winks at you and smiles, and he walks away.
Perfect.
Dave, are you starting to feel the tension now? You starting to see what I'm talking about?
It's gonna grow. Yeah, sounds
It's
good.
gonna grow. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, anybody else want to talk or converse with anyone on the trip? So we've got Ugug's talked. I've updated his information as well as Orland.
I think Hobo would. You've lost me. Can you hear me? There we go.
Yeah, it's just kind of breaking up here and there.
Yeah, I apologize for that. So Tobo had been probably the new kid on the block, so he remained isolated. Stayed with his dinosaur towards me of the ship, watching as the cloud in meditation, maybe communion with his own inner thoughts. His dinosaur would have been kind of keeping an eye on everything, and he is not one to really initiate a lot of interaction with others, so he remains quiet and withdrawn.
Okay. So one evening, as you're watching the stars sort of up in the sky, and you're passing right below the clouds, and it's very peaceful as you're passing over the lands, you hear a voice. You don't hear him walk up to you, but you hear a voice, and he says, I believe you are a Talinta halfling, are you not? And you turn to see this ebony skinned ranger standing there. He says, "My name is Amos Starlight. It is good to meet you."
Hello. My name is Tobo, and yes, Talentin half. Although I am not proud to. This is my companion, brother, Bonar. We have been asked to travel with you, it would appear. Find it interesting, but I am a bit overwhelmed with the vastness that I have encountered after a life of plains and grass and my clan. This is a little more than I would.
Oh, we lost you there, Aaron.
You there?
Yep,
Can
we're
you
there.
hear me?
Yep, we got you. We got
Okay.
to the vast plains part.
Yeah, so I guess I would have to, although curious and intrigued by what I find, overwhelmed by what has appeared to be a much larger world than I realized.
He says, "Do not do." He says, "Do not worry. I know how it feels to be lost. I know many of your people, though. I have spent much time among the Talinta Plains people. My family, they were actually diplomats for a very long time. They traveled around the town of Starileskur before. Perhaps you have heard of it. much of the time they spent in Sear before the war and during the war. But I know your people as well. I've spent much time there. Many of them taught me some of their tracking techniques. And as far as your wonderful little companion here, he sort of reaches out and instantly your pet, Bond Knower, just kind of instantly sort of connects to this guy. And he pets him and rubs his like under his like little scaly chin and everything. Then pulls a little treat out and hands it to him. He says, "But I've been lost before too. Um, Now," he says, "don't worry. If you ever need anything at all," he says, "let me know." Um, as far as the rest of these folks, he says, "Perhaps they're not used to hearing, talking with, working with Talenta Plains halflings, but I have. They're like my second cousins. Not that I like any of my second cousins, but I like your folks all right."
Thank you.
And he says,
Thank you, Amos.
"Do you still have family in the plains?"
Yes, my clan, the Three Horns, still raise and travel with the herds that we fought with during the last war. I was a three-horn rider, but I lost my brother in the battles to free our country and make us independent. In the process, my brother here, Bonar, lost his rider, and so the mask weavers believed we would be good for each other, and we are now learning each other's ways, becoming a pair in order to find what the spirits have laid out for us. I am
Wait,
curious to
wait,
see where it
wait,
will lead.
wait. You're Tobo of the Three Horns clan?
Yes, you are.
Uh-oh.
You
You are what?
you know of me? You know of me?
Well, I do not know of you well, but the last time I saw you, you were, well, I do not mean to insult your people, but you were perhaps half the height of that you are now. Your grandfather was Frondor, the Tyrannosaurus Rex Slayer, was he not?
Yes, Grandpapa. He
I
still
saw him. I
loves to.
saw him kill the thing. I was there. I am the Ranger Amos. They called me the Star Weaver in your clan.
Oh, he has mentioned. Yes, he was very, very fond of you and includes you in the stories he would tell around the camp of his times battling the T-Rex and the Thunder Lizards. Oh, I have heard of you. It is a true pleasure to meet you in person. I am truly honored to be a companion with you at this time.
Oh, no. Your grandfather, he was the hero. He just allowed me to learn some of his tricks of the trade. I don't know if he ever told you, but he was quite crazy. He when he killed that T-Rex, I remember it well. He ran up next to the thing as your clan was herding it toward a trap, leaped on the thing, ran up its spine, and stabbed it in the eyeball with his spear 3, 4, 5 times. When it hit the ground, your grandfather rolled. That's why he walked with a limp for the rest of his life. He walked with a cane for the rest of his life because he broke his leg taking down that T Rex. It killed his favorite dog. Your grandfather was an amazing man, but he was just a risk taker. You should be proud of who you are. Your lineage is strong. You should consider yourself
Indeed.
family. He laughs out loud and he
Thank
says
you.
he gives like this. There's this salute, maybe like among your clan, and he like puts his hand up to his heart, and he like taps it 3 times, like for the three horns clan, and then bows, and he says, "If you need anything, my young friend," he says, "let me know. You will make your grandfather proud."
I hope I will make my grandfather and clan proud. I will do my best. It is a unsure path I now walk, but I believe it is for the best, and I look forward to fighting at your side, friend Amos.
He looks out in the
I
distance.
return the salute.
He when he stands back up, he looks back into the out in the distance before you, and he looks up at the sky, and he says, "I am unsure of our path either, but I believe that something is working. Something is afoot, and I'm not sure if it's working against us or for us." And he looks back down to you, and he says, "Whatever it is, it's all put us on the same path." And he looks down, and he points to your brooch, and he says, "We all have the same benefactor. We don't know who he or she actually is, but we will find out. I fear we'll find out together." All right, so
Yes, I am. I too am
go ahead.
curious. Look forward to where it leads.
All right, so let's see here. You guys have talked to Ugug. You've talked to Orlin. Charlotte's going to continue, I guess, to fly the ship, and then I'm going to get you guys to Marketplace. So you guys will land out in that field, and like I said, you've got the field area where there are several other ships out there. They're loading and unloading materials, and then you've got sort of a ring of tents and carts and wagons and such around the village. And it is a village. It is small, but there's so much trade that happens here. They do have a lightning rail line that runs past it. And then you've got the village itself. So I have put you guys on a map of the town, of the village itself, of the very center of the village, but that doesn't have to be where you are. You can still visit any places that are here. There are some stores. You've got the camps. There's also a very, very, very small keep as well in the town proper. All right, I will throw it back to you guys.
Quick question before we start.
Tobo.
Aaron, what is Tabo's class?
Well, that'll be interesting to find out, won't it?
Oh, okay. No problem.
I guess if you want to come up, and he might be more than willing to explain a little bit more of his class.
No, we can find out later. No problem.
When you guys get let's see, like I said, there as far as like large areas, you've got the camp area outside. Outside the village.
I don't see a new map yet.
Oh, you don't? Did I not
Cole,
put you
I'm
guys?
still on the fire pit.
That helped.
There we go.
There we go. I did not cover up the I have a map with the roofs of these things, but I did not bother putting them in there. So there are a few different places that are here. There's also a keep. I don't have a map of the keep because there's not a whole lot you could do there, but you could certainly go there and visit and see what it's about. But you got the camps on the outside. Again, you don't have to be in here. I just got this sort of as a reference place for now. You can explore the village itself. You can go to the keep. Sort of up to you what you want to do here.
Okay, I can knock off round one of what Yuri's going to be doing in town really quickly, if that helps. Is there a marketplace, like a farmer's market?
Yeah, we'll say that that's located maybe outside this area that you're in. You can certainly visit that.
Okay. Is there a cooper shop or somewhere to buy barrels?
Barrels. Yes.
Okay.
So that we're gonna say that's like over. Let's see. We'll do actually. This lady over here is a general shop. She has a general shop. She sells stuff there, and then you've got a production area down here at the lower end that can. It's a blacksmith shop, but they can also put together some barrels and things for you. Or there's other places that they could do a cooper shop and put that kind of thing together for you.
Right. Okay. So there's also then a blacksmith shop, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So Yuri's going to spend the first few moments of time off the ship. He's going to try and get his hands on, it was 260 pounds of potatoes, a couple of large barrels, and some copper tubing.
Oh God, I think I see where this is going. Are you making a potato gun?
No. No.
I was like, are you making a potato gun?
No. Yuri has proficiency in brewer's supplies. And so we're going to spend some time, basically, basically somewhere on the ship, with permission, of course. He's going to set up a place to make vodka.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. Pricing for that kind of thing.
That's the next question, is the pricing.
Let's see here. Special foods. I'm trying to look something up to see if I can find out something about that, because I don't think there's anything for just like, hey, here's like potatoes.
So I do have I can put here, I'll put this in the chat, and you can take a look and see if you're okay with using this. It's like a homebrew page where they've come up with prices for random trade goods. Let's see here. Yes, that was plan B for the barrel. So according to these guys actually do a good job of breaking down a whole pile of things. And so potatoes as root vegetables would be 2 coppers a pound.
Yeah, sounds fair to me. So let's say, how many pounds could you put in a barrel? You want to go?
It's not the barrel. It takes 26 pounds of potatoes to make a bottle of vodka, and so I'm getting 260 pounds.
All right, so you need what, 520 copper pieces. That's 52 silver pieces for 260 pounds of potatoes. Is that right?
Yeah. I'd arranged to have them delivered to the ship.
All right.
And so the plan, just to be clear here, Cole, the plan is I'm going to make 10 bottles of vodka. The first 8, I'm going to make, relatively strong, but the last 2, my plan is to make them as overproofed as I can.
Okay. All right. That sounds fair to me.
Okay. Yeah. And so I have to use, I will have to use.
Why don't we do this? Why don't you visit one of the general stores and let's see what kind of things they might have to help you out with your goal.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Let's see here.
Even though all this is at night, all this is a night map, we could still use it in the daytime.
Right. Okay. It did that. Okay. 1 second, please.
Cole, you can remove, let's say remove Tobo's icon for now, and he'll just be mounted on Bonar.
Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I will put, what happened to it? Let's see here. I'll put, he just kind of disappeared, didn't he? There he goes. All right. So that's you on Bonar.
There he is.
Bonar. Yep. So that's you mounted.
Perfect.
All right. So Yuri's going to visit this. You said that this shop here was a.
Yeah, general store. So a lady comes into the front room there, and they have a variety of different goods here. It's quite large. It does have 2 stories to it, and normally these kind of buildings have a home on the top floor and a business on the bottom. And 3 steps lead up to the entrance. There's a sign outside that has the silhouette of a person wearing a backpack and carrying a walking stick. And although it's small, it seems to be very well stocked. The lady here, her name is she introduces herself as Zaglana, and she strangely enough has a mohawk and very beady eyes, but she's very young. And asks, "Hello, how may I help you?"
I am looking to purchase 2 barrels. Roughly this, and he kind of gives a gesture of space by his hands, by this. And so like you're looking at roughly like a 4 foot tall by 3 foot wide kind of barrel-y shape.
Okay. So you are looking for a. So she says, yes. She says, we can sell you barrels for 2 gold pieces per barrel.
Fantastic. I will take 2, please.
Okay, excellent. She snaps her fingers, and a little group of goblins comes out from the other room, and she says, "Where would you like them delivered?"
To the Weatherlight, please.
And they head out with their barrels.
Okay.
And you can also buy the potatoes from her too.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, I will also need a large quantity of potatoes. 240 pounds, please.
Okay, and she says, "Great, we'll put them in the barrels and send them on." What else?
Same
do you need?
location. I'm looking for copper tubing. It must be, and he gives the specifications for what the copper tubing needs to be. It's roughly about 10 feet of copper tubing. Very, very like basically as thin and as finely wrought as they can make, kind of thing.
Okay, let me look up one thing for here. Where did they go? Trying to find the cost on something in particular for you. Just hang in there 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at you and she says, she smells you and she says, "I know what you're doing. You're
that
making alcohol."
Yuri would give a big grin and be like, yes, I am.
She says, "Come with me to the back room."
Yuri is more than happy to oblige.
She
Is he
says,
getting any kind of like weird vibes off this lady? Should I roll an insight check?
"You can if you want to."
Yeah, let's roll an insight check. I mean, nothing wrong with somebody with a mohawk and beady eyes, but Yuri isn't about to. This isn't the first time he's been asked to do someone's back room.
She very straightforward. She says, "No, I'm not interested. Yes, it's about business."
Fantastic. Let's go.
Okay, so she takes you in the back room here, and she says, she points down and she says, "I actually have a brewery kit for sale."
How much are you asking for it?
Now, this brewery set is huge. It's like 5 foot by 5 foot.
Fantastic. It'll fit on the ship.
Yes. So a usual kit's like a small kit's like 5 gold pieces. This one's going to be 20 gold pieces, but you can brew anything in it. You can hook the barrels up to it. Actually, it has copper tubing excerpts for anything you might need. She says, "You even have," and she says, "straight from our artificers from Northern Islander University, pressure gauges." Do you have any idea what a pressure gauge does? I don't either, but this has them.
I think Yuri would have a vague notion about pressure gauges.
More than
either way, yeah. Either way, he's going to start tapping at this thing. Would I be able to tell that it's good quality? Should I roll something for that?
Oh, it's definitely good quality. Yeah, you wouldn't even have to roll. You mean your knowledge as an artificer, you can examine it because you know the complexities of you're saying complexities of the ship and designs and things like that. This is child's play. Everything looks really good, and even the copper tubing is brand new.
Fantastic. Yuri's going to take it.
Yep.
Not even going to argue the price.
She says, "Look, we get a lot of things here at Marketplace." She says, "We have so much trade coming through this small little village. You can find all kinds of things here. And if you need something special order, She says, "My shop name is the Busy Traveler. We're happy to get you anything we can."
Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, all right. So Yuri's happy with these trades. I guess I better start making notes on the general page, or not the general, the highlights page.
Have we divvied up the gold and silver yet?
Nope.
Did I miss that? Okay. So you're just writing
That's
credit?
well, yeah. I'm basically pointing out that Yuri has drawn so far this amount, kind of thing. So far, I believe it was 24 gold pieces. And then what did we quote for the potatoes? Because it was 20 gold pieces for the brewery kit, and then 2 gold pieces per barrel.
And 52 silver for the potatoes, I think is what we figured.
52, yeah. Okay.
She says, "Oh, one more thing." She goes back to the front of the building, nudges you to follow her.
Yeah.
She writes something out on a piece of paper, folds it up, and she hands it to you. She says, "In case you are back in Marketplace and you're looking for a good time, I am available." And she like stuffs it down in your like little pocket on the front of your shirt.
Fantastic. Actually, Yuri does want to talk to her about the alcohol trade in town, and do they have any like providers of strong spirits?
She says, "Yes, you're looking for the Drunk Pig."
Okay. All right, that's cool. I might check that out. 24 gold pieces. Yeah, and 52 silver pieces. Okay, so I've added that note onto there. So when we do split the
So
treasure
are we
up.
deducting? I was
Sorry,
going to
what?
say, do you want to just deduct it from the total that we have?
Well,
Are we
we've got to divide
deducting
it
that
up.
from
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we should divide it up
the
first.
pot?
I mean, I don't want to just like like drain the pot with my alcohol fueled endeavors. This is really a proof of concept. Like, if I can make 10 bottles of vodka, 2 of which will basically work as improvised Molotov cocktails, well, then I mean, sky's the limit at that point.
I expect to see a label by next session.
Fair enough.
If you can make like an actually cool designed label for your vodka, I will totally give everyone like 2 inspiration beginning a game.
Okay,
Period.
I will accept that challenge. Within 2 weeks, you will see a label.
We get T-shirts.
Yes, nice.
Yuri and Boris's vodka.
Yeah.
Something. So yeah, Anvil actually, I guess Anvil might travel over here too. And I think once he hears the Drunk Pig, his ears perk up and he walks out.
There you go.
And
Yeah, he
as
heard.
and
He heard what he needed to hear.
when he's passing Tobo, he says, "Hey, Tobo, you want to go get something to drink?"
I never pass up seeing adequate alcoholic content, so lead the way.
Alcoholic content. We'll even get one for your little dinosaur too. Come on, let's go. he takes you and he says, "We're going to the Drunk Pig. Never heard of it. Sounds like an adventure." So he goes in and he pays. He has a little bit of money that came with his character when he made. So he pays for the first round of drinks, and you start drinking with Anvil, and he starts talking about all kind of crazy stories and things that he's had, and starts bonding with Tobo, and even really likes your dinosaur Bonar as well. So when you go to the tavern, it boasts a big sign in the shape of a pig head with 2 big X's over its eyeballs.
Mm.
And it's constructed of these thick. The place is constructed of these big thick logs, probably hastily done so. But the place looks really old, and it's if several walls and windows are been constantly repaired to keep it up kept. But it looks really strong. So when you go in and you sit at the bar with Anvil, this big half ogre comes over, real happy guy. Slams a hand down on the table. The glasses sort of shake a little bit when he does. He says, "Name's Berg Dolgram. I run the place. It's quiet in the morning, but business picks up in the afternoon. By nightfall, this place is going to be packed with people. They're going to be drinking. They're going to be eating. They're going to be fighting. It's going to be a hell of a time. So, what can I do for you, gentlemen?"
something to drink, maybe a fight.
He said he slams it down. He says, "That's my kind of halfling. I bet you're a Talenta halfling." Yep, my brother went out there one time. Man, they kicked his butt all over that desert. Said it was the best time he'd ever had in his life. And Anvil says, "Well, first round's on me. We'll take 2 shots of Syrian whiskey, and we'll take a jug of let's see, he thinks there for a minute, Droam ale." And he goes, "Ah, you guys are heavy drinkers. Excellent." So he brings out a whole bunch of alcohol. Anvil shoots down both of the shots, and he starts drinking it, getting beer or ale out of the pitcher, starts drinking it, and he says, "Bottoms up, my little friend." And he starts to drinking. So Bird comes over
I
to you
do.
both, and he's,
Yep.
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I'm 1-to-1 with him. Whatever he downs, I'm.
Anvil looks at you and he starts to say, "You know what's better than 1 Tobo? 2 Tobos." He starts laughing. Bird comes over there and he says, "So what are you guys doing here in Marketplace anyway?" He starts to clean some glasses up.
Traveling through. I'm basically a hired hand at.
Oh no.
Oh,
What?
think you're having some technical difficulties, Aaron, on your maybe.
Seriously, I apologize.
No,
Can
it's
you?
okay.
All right. So I'm cutting in and out, huh? So
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
yeah, Tobo basically is. I'm along for the ride. I'm a hired muscle, so
He says, "Well, if you're hired muscle," he said, "good for you." He says, "There are very few adventurers who come through here these days. Most people just come to trade, have a drink here and there. A lot of people come to the forge, though. We have one of the best blacksmiths in the whole region. Got a dwarf down there who does a lot of the work. His name is actually Forge. Need to check it out. But the interesting thing about him, that man is both a smithy and an artificer. Teach you a lot, show you a lot, make you some crazy stuff. What do I know? I just sell drinks. You need to be careful though. There are a couple of bandits who come in here and out. Get a little bit, mostly peace here. But yeah, we can get some bandits here every once in a while, some pirates. Got to be careful. All right. I think we haven't heard anything from Dave in a while. Dave, what do you want to do?
XR is in the general store waiting patiently for the storekeeper to finish with Yuri, not wanting to interrupt. Once they're done their deal, XR would approach her and say, "This unit has recently been taught the game known as Dragon Chess. Query, does this store possess a dragon chess set for sale?"
So let me ask this question. So she's sitting there flirting with Yuri. Yuri, are you like kind of like, hold on, man? Are you like, don't jump
I
on
would
my
not.
game? Or
No, I thought I said
Oh,
at the beginning I would not
oh no,
interrupt.
I
I
think
was
it's a
waiting for
great.
them to finish.
I know it's a great RP moment. I mean, like,
well,
because she's starting to flirt with Yuri, right? So XR is like, kind, and you like,
And
and
just be
Yuri's like,
standing there awkwardly, I think was funny in itself.
I'm gonna argue, yeah. I mean, Yuri is intelligent enough to know that she's flirting with him, but with a charisma of 8, like he's ruined the moment already. I don't know whether he's asked to see her boobs or something, but
he said something
whatever.
awkward.
Yeah, the first thing that he said was so awkward and awful. Like, and it just, yeah, like he's already killed the moment right now. Basically, XR is
I want to demand a roll, Ian, because maybe
okay.
maybe Yuri just
Oh,
has
that
a
is true.
smart.
Actually, yeah. Okay, all right. We'll roll my charisma and we'll see what happens. I suppose that is the fair thing to do here.
I'm gonna roll something for her too, just to roll to see.
Jeez, Yuri's being relatively charismatic. Oh no! So she's kind of into it. Okay. So like
She likes
Yuri,
the bad boy who doesn't care about her at all. The less
Yeah.
interested you are, the more she likes it.
that's really it. Like Yuri is talking about like the workings of an engine at this point. Like he's an engine that he saw like 10 years ago, so he's not entirely sure of the exact details, but he's trying to describe it as something cool he once saw. And apparently that works for her.
Here's what we're gonna have to do with that kind of roll, because I did not expect her to be into it that much either.
He
I
probably
guess
thinks
it's
you're
the
doing
bare
double
chested.
entendre, but you're not.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
talking about, you're talking about the
She's just
shaft,
like,
the pressure, and the pounding, but she thinks you're talking about something totally different.
maybe so. Another woman's gonna walk in, and she looks exactly like the other woman, and she goes, "Oh my, by the gods!" And she looks over at you, XR. She walks over. She says, "I am so sorry about my sister. She thinks about one thing and one thing only. Can I help you, sir?"
Does she also have a mohawk?
She does not.
Okay, there we
She,
go.
yeah.
All right, so XR is asking if they have a dragon chess set for sale.
She says, "Well, actually, interestingly enough, those dragon chess sets, they are made here, but they're all made of metal. They're actually forged down at the forge. I could take you over there if you'd like."
Oh, at that, Yuri would kind of look over that way and say, "I also need to go visit Forge."
The lady actually grabs your arm and she says, "You don't have to go anywhere, honey. You can stick around here a little while longer." And the other lady says, "Quick, let's get out of here before she tries to do anything else." And she drags you out of the place.
Yeah, fair enough. At this
Says,
point, yeah, I mean, like Yuri's just gonna walk away at that point. Like he's just—I don't know whether it's a combination of obliviousness or just sheer poor manners, but he's just gonna walk.
"Well, hey, there you go." She's like, "Wait, wait, wait." As she leaves, she goes, "Aw." And you hear her as you walk out the door go, "Aw, shit."
She's gonna blame her sister. There's gonna be fireworks tonight.
Yeah, there could
Yep.
this could split the business up by the time we get back here.
Well, they're twins, so you never know. So the other twin sister is going to take you both down here to the forge. I'll put you guys right there. So this is the forge, and there's a guy over here, and there's a dwarf working at the forge, very large dwarf. And he's sort of banging away. And he looks over. He says, "Hi, he says, how may I help you?"
Reply. This unit has recently learned the game Dragon Chess. This shopkeeper has guided this unit to this forge in hopes that this blacksmith may have a dragon chess set available for purchase.
So he will say, "Well, they're special order chess sets, 5 gold pieces for a set. Happy to sell you one. It's going to be a week before I can get it created, though. You going to be around?"
Reply. Unlikely. This unit was hoping to find something at a more reasonable price, since this unit is only a beginner.
Let's see here. So into the town, up behind you, you hear the voice. "It's all right. I'll take care of it. These are friends of mine." And he says, "Forge." He goes, "Orlin Thistlecord." You see the dwarf walk up to him, and they shake hands. And Charlotte says, "You're as ugly as ever, Forge." He says, "Yeah, you just know how awesome and great this is. You half elves always want a piece of these dwarves." And she says, "Mm-hmm." And they kind of laugh it off. And he looks over at you both and he says, "So, friends of yours, Orlin?" He says, "All right." He says, Orlin says, you still owe me from, oh, I know. And I've regretted marrying her every day. Thanks a lot." And you hear someone from the inside of the shop go, "I heard that." He goes, "I'm just kidding, dear." And he looks back, he says, "Just kidding, Orlin, mostly. Yeah, I still owe you." Looks over, he says, "What's your name, son?" And he looks right at XR when he says that.
Reply. This unit is addressed as XR Silverflame.
XR Silverflame. All right. Give me 10 seconds. He walks in, he comes out, and he says, this was reserved for someone who was supposed to pick this up 2 days ago. He says, but they didn't come here. And you're a friend of Orland, so you're a friend of mine. Consider it a gift. Perhaps one day I'll need a favor from you. Sound good? And he hands over this box. It's like a closed chess set. So you may have seen the travel chess sets where they fold together.
Yep.
And this really heavy, like the pieces are small inside, but they're all made of metal. And they're made of silver and copper pieces.
Reply. This unit is grateful both for Orland Thistlecord's intervention and this blacksmith's generosity.
He says, well, the way it works around here is we try to barter, we try to help each other. Now, if you happen to come near, I don't know, several pounds of silver or mithril or copper ingots, I could use them. Just keep me in mind if you find any, and we'll consider it an early, or rather, this an early trade. Sound good?
Reply. This is agreeable. Query. Does this forge sell half-plate armor?
Half plate armor. We do.
Analysis. It is unlikely that this unit is in a position to purchase such armor today, but perhaps, should this unit find ingots as requested, perhaps a trade could be arranged to upgrade this unit's current armor in the future.
He says, well, perhaps we could work something out. I have to check on it with the wife, see what the going rates are. Probably work something out. Yeah.
The player's handbook price is 750 gold, which we're nowhere close to. And that's for unenchanted even. So
Right. So 750 gold pieces. So yeah, he says we could probably work something out. He says, you get my silver for me and bring me a couple things. Sure, we could work something out. No problem. Anytime.
we have some ingots already, right? Of silver.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But only one. So, he would turn to Yuri and say, query, would Yuri be agreeable to providing our current ingot with silver to this blacksmith?
I don't see why not.
So it looks like a silver ingot is 5 gold pieces.
Ah, okay. So not really worth it at this point. We should probably accumulate a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But he says, for 2 gold pieces per weapon, he can silver weapons for you as well.
Yuri does not need any weapons silvered.
Analysis. We should share this offer with our crewmates.
Mm-hmm.
He looks over at Orland and he says, so how long are you all here for? Orland says, probably about 1 to 2 weeks. So you got some downtime. And he says, Orland asks what's been going on in the town since last he was there. And he says, well, it's interesting that you ask. He sort of huddles nearby. So, you can all kind of hear, right? And he says, the guards of the city, well-trained guards, well-trained soldiers. There are some apprentice mages around here from Aundair's Mages School. They keep the crime to a minimum, but they're charging some high prices for anyone who's jailed. Get them out. So the traders are actually paying out the rear for drunken workers who get in trouble. But the captains of the ship, they're keeping their crews in line right now because the cost of air transport is high, it's fast, and it's more respected. Seems like people are too afraid to run the rails right now. Something's going on. Not only that, the village guard's been on high alert. He looks around for a minute. He says, "You all look like you can take care of yourselves, so you didn't hear this from me. There's a famous pirate got loose from prison, someone from Roarholds. Supposedly she's stolen airships, navy vessels even, paid off some lightning rail pilots. Might be nearly impossible to get her though. People are scared. Lightning rails started paying archmages to drive them. Archmages to drive the trains. Can you believe that?" He looks around. He says, "Not only that, finding someone with a dragon mark of the storm is even rarer. I'm surprised you even got someone to run that ship." He looks over at Charla and he says, "If they keep choking the supply chains anywhere, the little people are going to suffer. Places like Marketplace, too." But you didn't hear any of that from me. Orlin says, "Yeah, we appreciate it as usual." And the dwarf says, "Well, I got to get back to work." So he walks over there and he goes back to the forge.
Oh, actually, Yuri does have a question for him. Yuri would like to know if there is a Warhammer available for purchase.
Yes, he does have warhammers for purchase as well. You can pretty much buy any basic armor that you might need here.
Okay.
Yep. So they're all available.
And going by the price in the book?
Yeah, and he can also, if you bring him silver ingots and copper ingots, like several pounds, then he can give you a 10% discount on everything you buy. I was gonna check on one more thing here for you guys. So, like any of the armor, regular armors, he can buy, and if you pay enchantment costs, he can actually increase the enchantment of some of these up by +1 if you want one of your your next uncommon item to be like armor or a weapon that's a +1 weapon or +1 armor. So he can actually help do that, and that would account towards your allotment of items. So yeah, Warhammer.
It's 15 gold.
Yeah, 15 gold. Yeah, I was trying to pull up real fast. A 15 gold piece, he would have a Warhammer.
Okay. So Yuri's gonna take a look at that. Let's take a look at what the party has. I think we're at we're at 290 gold. So Yuri's easily
Yep.
Yuri's good with dipping in for an additional 15, which brings his total from 24 to 39. So Yuri spent 39 gold pieces, but now has a Warhammer.
All
And
right.
potatoes.
Hmm?
So many potatoes.
Yes, and a lot of potatoes and massive copper tubing, but trust me, everyone's going to benefit from that.
Okay, so you guys have been to the Busy Traveler General Goods Store. You've been to the Forge. You still haven't been to the camps. You haven't been to the keep. There's an inn here, also called the Surreal Sun. And of course, you've got a couple more buildings in here, and then there's a lightning rail station as well. So this is probably a good place for us to stop. And you guys are going to have 2 weeks of downtime here. So if there's something you want to do in that 2 weeks of downtime, you can certainly do that. That will be available. You just let me know as we go, and we can just pick up here in 2 weeks if that sounds good with everybody.
Yep.
Sounds great.
Awesome. And there's
I'm
plenty more
happy
time.
with it. Thank you.
Cool. There's plenty of time too to do more role playing here too. So if you guys decide you want to do more role playing around this area, then that's totally open as well. There's plenty of other things you can do, as long as Anvil and Tobo don't get too drunk.
Do we
I was
get
gonna
next-
say maybe he can get into a fight and show XR what he is.
Yeah, haha. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I need to give you guys some XP too. Let's see here. At 2 Magman. And then the fire elemental. plus their math is hard. 450 XP per person.
450, you said?
450.
Right, 450.
Okay, I can hear it. My wife needs my help, so I'm just going to exit here. But thanks, guys. That was fun.
Yep.
All right, sounds good, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.